And just in behind them come April the 8th on the near side. Watch Me Still from Atraf improving on the rails, then Iktamal, Woodbury in the centre. Rambling Bear is coming there quite fast towards the stand side. Island Del Rey is still the clear leader over on the far side with Catch the Blues for Ireland coming to try and challenge him. On the near side it's Watch Me from Atraf and Woodbury. Over on the far side it's Catch the Blues for Ireland. Catch the Blues from Watch Me and Atraf as they race into the closing stages. It's Catch the Blues over on the far side and Atraf. Atraf has probably just won it from Catch the Blues with Watch Me and Woodbury in a photo. It's very close between those two. Atraf on the near side and Catch the Blues on the far side. Atraf, number 14, has won it in a photo. Atraf has won it on the near side for under Willie Carson Castle. And they're away. And over on the far side, Vaxstar the Grey. In the centre, showing very good speed there, is Caviar Royale. Caviar Royale in the centre and Vaxstar on the far side. And right on the near side, it's Olympic Spirit. But it's Vaxstar the Grey, Caviar Royale in the centre. Making very good progress towards the near side now is Aficionado, Superior Premium, and McKinnon right up there with the lead too in the centre of the picture, but towards the right it's Olympic Spirit with Caviar Royale, then Superior Premium, and on the far side Vaxstar. Vaxstar now just about the overall leader possibly from Olympic Spirit on the near side. Vaxstar from Olympic Spirit with here comes Dazzle, the newcomer on the far side. Dazzle beginning to mow him down as they race up towards the line. Dazzle putting in a dazzling finish, is going to win it cozily. Here's this startling newcomer. Dazzle the winner, and second is Vaxstar, and third is Olympic Spirit, and four was Torfan Rookie. And so the result of the Windsor Castle number 11. Park Stud.
Last one coming in.
That's it. They're all in.
Jockey!
An Arctic Fancy, then comes Warbrook, and they've got 4.5 furlongs to race. Private Song by less than a length from Pleasant Surprise, who's being hard ridden in second place. Then in third is the Chef Too Far, followed by Serendipity. Then comes Count Basie, Samran, Orinoco River, and they've got just over 3 furlongs to race, and Private Song leads from in second place. We've got Pleasant Surprise. There was an incident on the turn there. Some of them run very wide, but meanwhile up front it's Private Song in the lead from Pleasant Surprise, Serendipity and Samran. Then a Chef Too Far, 2 furlongs out. Private Song the leader. Then Serendipity coming up on the inside of Pleasant Surprise. Then comes Samran, but Private Song bidding to make all. Pressed by Pleasant Surprise, Samran on the outside. Then Serendipity and Nador coming from a long way back. Private Song being caught now by Samran, and Harbour Dew's flying from the back as they run up towards the line, but Samran has his head just in front. Samran just beats Private Song. Harbour Dew's is third, Pleasant Surprise is fourth.
So Samran the winner at 14-1 at the John Dunlop stable. Second number 9, Private Song, 8-1. Third was Harbour Dew.
3 and Election Day is the last to be installed for the Hardwick, and that's it. They're all in. And they're away. Anas Mirabilis going up on the outside, and Leah White with him, and Leah White taking it up now from Anas Mirabilis on the far side of Posidonus. Oscar Schindler been dropped in middle division with Phantom Gold also, and the back marker is Election Day, and it's Leah White making it from on the outside. Anas Mirabilis, Posidonus next, then Phantom Gold, Oscar Schindler, Punishment behind them, then Dancer Dream, and being chased along by Willie Carson at the moment, Election Day, as Leah White makes it from Anas Mirabilis, Posidonus and Phantom Gold. Oscar Schindler just behind Phantom Gold. Then comes Punishment, Dancer Dream, and still being chased along in 8th place at the moment is Election Day, as Leah White makes it. Mind you, he was being chased along at Chester as well, but finally he got very close to the winner. Leah White the leader though, from Annus Mirabilis in second. Posidonus comes next, and they're going a real good pace. Then the royal colours of Phantom Gold, last year's Ribblesdale winner. Then the favourite Oscar Schindler under Mick Kinnan, and just behind him Punishment, then Dancer Dream, and finally Election Day. Still Lear White the leader from Annus Mirabilis and Posidonus, and then Phantom Gold as they race to the 4 furlong marker. And on the near side, it's Lear White from Annus Mirabilis, and it looks as though Election Day is going to be pulled up. Posidonus is next, then Phantom Gold. Then he hasn't moved on Oscar Schindler next, and behind him comes Punishment, and then Dancer Dream. They're racing towards the home turn now and into it, and as they do so, Annus Mirabilis takes it up towards the outside of Lear White. Just in behind them, Phantom Gold. Here comes Oscar Schindler for Ireland on the right of the picture now, coming to challenge Annus Mirabilis. It's Annus Mirabilis the leader from Oscar Schindler. Annus Mirabilis over on the far side. John Carroll from Oscar Schindler and Mick Kinnan. Oscar Schindler and Annus Mirabilis in a terrific battle now in the closing stages. It's just Oscar Schindler on the near side getting the better of Annus Mirabilis. It's Oscar Schindler from Annus Mirabilis fighting back, but Oscar Schindler wins it from Annus Mirabilis. Posidonus was third, just ahead of Lear White, and then came Phantom Gold and Dancer Dream and Punishment, and pulled up was Election Day. And so Oscar Schindler becomes the first Irish trained winner of the Hardwick Stakes since Stanara won it in 19. They're away. And on the near side, Willie Carson breaks very fast on the Happy Fox. Green Perfume is well up there, and Selhurst Park Flyer is leading him now on the stand side from Master of Passion, and then comes Green Perfume. Whereas over on the far side, Law Commission, Sir Joey well up there, Astrac Latching and Sir Silver Socks. On the near side though, it's Selhurst Park Flyer the leader from Master of Passion, then comes Green Perfume. That's on the stand side. Over on the far side, the leader now is Brave Edge. Brave Edge over on the far side, and on the stand side, Selhurst Park Flyer from Master of Passion, Green Perfume just in behind them. And it looks as though the stand side have the advantage as Master of Passion now takes it up. Master of Passion the leader, being challenged all the time by Green Perfume. J&P just in behind him. Prince Baber putting in a run. Green Perfume is just about the overall leader on the stand side as they race up towards the line. Green Perfume being challenged by Emerging Market now on the near side. Emerging Market on the near side, and over on the far side, Sir Joey. Emerging Market has won the stand side race from Prince Baber and double bounce, but over on the far side it was Sir Joey, and this is going to be the opposite sides of the course, and Emerging Market is declared the winner. Emerging Market, the winner of the race on the stand side, is declared the winner, with Sir Joey the winner over on the far side. But it's a photograph for second, third and fourth places, but Emerging Market, number 12, owned by Mr. Philip Broughton, trained by John Dunlop and ridden by Kevin Darley, his first ever winner at Royal Ascot, has won the Wokingham Stakes. It's a photograph for second, third and fourth places, and those involved are 22 over on the far side. 21 Prince Baber and 29 Double Bounce. Those I think we'll find in. Here it comes now. It's the Hawkeye. Second is number 21, Prince Baber. Third is number 29, Double Bounce, and a further photograph is being called for to determine fourth place. So just to recap, the winner is number 12, Emerging Market. Second is number 21, Prince Baber. Third is number 29, Double Bounce. A further photograph for fourth place, and he's just announcing the fourth place photo is between Green Perfume and Sir Joey. Sir Joey, remember, was the finisher, isolated on the far side, and Green Perfume was on the stand side. But this is the winner, Emerging Market and Kevin Darley.
Yes, the stand side had it. Master of Passion in those hoop sleeves. He looked for a moment as though he might pull it off. Look to his left as we see it in the black colours of Green Perfume. He flattered for a moment. Double Bounce also coming from off the pace. Green Perfume under a terrific drive here. And look back, and Kevin Darley threading his way through on the right of the picture, just as J&P flatters for a moment. Here, Green Perfume hit the front, but only for a brief second, as Kevin Darley brought it merging Market right on the right to come and challenge him 100 yards from home. Master of Passion drops out of it. On the far side of the standside group, that's Double Bounce finishing almost best of all. The first four on the stand side, so Joey wins the race on the far side, but at the line it's Emerging Market who lands a 33-to-1 shot, a terrific ride by Kevin Darley. In second place, Prince Baba, who just for a moment looked as though he'd put it off for a great player in Giles Pritchard Gordon, but he couldn't get there. Double Bounce third, and Green Perfume, whose connections must have thought a furlong out that they were going to collect. Green Perfume either fourth or fifth.
And that's it. And they're away. And Struggler just stumbled leaving the stalls there and lost a bit of ground, and Double Quick is fast away, and so's Evening Performance, and so in the centre is Yarmalak. Evening Performance and Yarmalak. And over on the far side, Mind Games setting up blistering speed over on the far side from Almaty and Hever Golf Rose. But on the near side, it's Mubij who's come to take it up now. Mubij, the leader on the stand side. Then comes Evening Performance, just in behind them, Royal Applause, and then Pivotal. Struggler trying to make up that lost ground, but got too much to do. And over on the far side, Mind Games is the leader on the far side from Pivotal on the near side. And it's Mind Games and Pivotal. Pivotal on the near side, Mind Games on the far side. Which is it going to be this time? It looks as though Mind Games on the far side has the advantage as they come to the line. It's Mind Games and Pivotal in a photo, and Pivotal may have got up. Pivotal and Mind Games in a photo with Almaty third. Well, once again, it's the opposite sides of the course. Mind Games on the far side. He's called a photo, but I think we'll find that Pivotal has won it on this side. They're looking at each other, the two jocks there. George Duffield on Pivotal, and Mind Games and John Carroll. Almaty was a very clear third. These two absolutely outdistanced the remainder, setting a blistering gallop. And Mind Games over on the far side, if he's beaten, and I think he may be just touched off, if he's beaten, he's been beaten by the draw. But what a performance by Pivotal. Win, lose or draw, these two, Pivotal and Mind Games, have run absolutely cracking races in the King's Stand. The judge consulting the photo. Remember, it'll come quickly because it's the Hawkeye camera. And here it comes. The result is Pivotal. Pivotal has won it this side. First, number 16, Pivotal, owned by the Cheveley Park stud, running for the first time this season, trained by Sir Mark Prescott and ridden by George Duffield. What a spectacular training performance. Second is Mind Games, number 3, owned by Mr. Rob Hughes, trained by Jack Berry and ridden by John Carroll. And the only thing you can say with certainty, without the aid of a camera, is that third is number 13, Almaty, trained by Con Collins, owned by Mr. Peter Saville, and ridden by Kevin Darley, with fourth, number 1, Hever Golf Rose.
Well, what a shame that one of these had to lose, but if there had to be a narrow winner, you couldn't say that Mark Prescott didn't deserve to win it. Poor Jack Berry on the far side.
He's great.
One to go, the last one's coming in.
Victor going in now. Mind Games nearest to us. Pivotal is drawn wide at 8. Gothenburg. Oh, oops. And they kick away. So where does the early pace come from? And it's Hever Golf Rose that sets it, one of the Group 1 winners in the race in this Darley July Cup. And Gothenburg striding up on the outside. Anna Barr runs a rail, a line of 3. Mind Games settled in behind today. Then we have Ictum on the far side with Cool Jazz and Lukai and Prince. And then behind these come with these Danehill Dancer. Pivotal towards the back, and they're tickling 40 miles an hour. Lucky Lionel is outpaced. Look at that Pivotal, number 10, the red jacket worn by George Duffield, stride up on the extreme left. So they come down towards the halfway stage, really tracking fast. Anabar runs a rail, just has the edge. Gothenburg the blue and white hoops. And between the pair at this stage races Hever Golf Rose. Here comes Pivotal, sweeping up on the outside of Mind Games. Could be having a rematch here. Lucayan Prince behind these and Ictimal. Cool Jazz tries to get going. And Lucky Lion on the back marker. They've got a furlong and a half to go. And it's Mind Games now that's come to attack Anabar. Anabar has it from Mind Games. The white cap Lucayan Prince is picking up well. Pivotal can find no more. Danehill Dancer flat to the boards, but it's France in the lead with Anabar clear by 2 lengths. Lucayan Prince is giving chase in second. They've pulled away of the others up towards the line. It's Anabar who takes it at the post. Anabar is the winner to Lucayan Prince in second, and all close for third. Hever Golf Rose and Ictimal and Danehill Dancer, and then Pivotal and Mind Games and Gothenburg in the field trail back to Lucky Lionel, who was last of all. And so the result of this, the Derby July Cup, everything that was said about the French runner Anabar proved to be correct. He's run 11 times, he's won 7. Freddie Head has taken this on the 11-4 chance. Anabar in the colours of Mrs. Addicks Head, trained by Border Cricket and bred by the Gainsborough Farms. Second horse home, why, that's number 8, Lucayan Prince.
A really enthralling race, and they're nearly all in, so for a race you really treasure, I hope. GG, over to you.
And they kick away. Treasure indeed. There are 6 Group 1 winners here, but where is the pace coming from? And early on it's Bijou Dunn and Halling, he goes from the front, comes from behind. He's doing the work made all last year. Why not this? Halling leads, Bijou Dunn second, Definite Article sitting third, Valinor 4, Beecham King, then Pentar, and Ella Aristocrati is the back marker. Halling leading then, stretching out in good style. A length and a half for the good over Bijou Dunn, half a length back to Definite Article, a length back to Beecham King, and then Valinor followed by Pentar, who has to be played late, covered up, is on the far side of the grey, and Ella Aristocrati is the back marker. There are about 5 lengths between first and last as they go through the first half mile in this Coral Eclipse, and it's Halling under John Reed who leads. Definite Article the inside of Bijou Dunn, then the orange colours on the outside, that's Beecham King, the green is Valinor, and the back marker is Ella Aristocrati. Bijou Dunn is sitting just off the pace. Halling leading then as they begin the turn out of the back straight. Halling it is by a length and a half to Bijou Dunn, who's sitting up on the outside of Definite Article second and third. A line of 3, Valinor the middle of the grey Beecham King. Pentai runs the rail, and then Ella Aristocrati. They start the turn for home, and it's Halling, John Reed taking them wide. Definite Article on the inside, the horse with the nose band. Red sleeves is Bijou Dunn, yellow sleeves Pentai getting closer, the green jacket Valinor. Ella Aristocrati is still towards the back. Come down the home straight, just over 3 to go, the Coral Eclipse, and the blue jacket Halling in the lead. Definite Article in second. Look on the left, there's the favourite Pentai with a run. Red sleeves Bijou Dunn, Valinor covered up, the grey Beecham King starts to unleash a run. Any of them could win, just over 2 to go. They've got to get past the one in front, that's Halling going as well as any. Definite Article, look to the left, Pentai creeping closer under Michael Hills. Bijou Dunn's putting in a finish, Valinor can find no more. Then Beecham King, but it's Halling who has the edge. They come down towards the final furlong. Halling back on turf, and doesn't he love it? It's Halling in the lead. Bijou Dunn, what a terrier. He's coming back at him in unknown territory. Halling, Bijou Dunn, Pentar as he reaches up towards the line. Halling pulls out more. Oh, a good horse! Halling, Bijou Dunn, Pentar, 1, 2, 3. Then Ella Aristocrati followed by Definite Article. Valinor and Beecham King was last of all, and so the result of this Coral Eclipse, an absolute thriller, which has been won for the 2nd consecutive year by horse number 3, Halling, in the colours of Godolphin, trained by Saeed bin Saror and ridden by John Reed, his 52nd winner of the season. But just spare a thought for poor old Frankie Dettori. Halling at 130, an absolutely superb run from the front. Border Swinburne rode the horse last year. Frankie would have been on board, but John Reed rides him today. And a double for him. The second horse home is number 7, Bijou Dunn. What a terrier! Coming up to this trip of 1.25 miles, Jason Weaver rode him superbly in the colours of James Morrison, trained by Mark Johnson. And the third was number 4, Pentar, and that was ridden by Michael Hills. But there's our winner, Halo champion. He came to be beaten, and he kept finding more and more and more. Look at him race. Bijou Dunn in the red sleeve jacket, he's going well. Pentai just couldn't get to them, but it's Halling's victory, Halling's day. Halling wins the Coral Eclipse.
Actually
He's done it once, he's done it twice, and that makes him exceptional. He went out, did it the hard way to boot. John Reid judging and scrimmaging in the final 3 furlongs. But John, he's going well, he's back on the surface he loves, at a place he loves.
Yes, this was a marvellous performance. Of course, at this stage, I must say my mind and heart were out with Pentar. I suppose you could say that he might be racing on slightly slower ground, but the expected acceleration never comes. It comes instead from Bijou Dand. What a gallant race this 3-year-old has run against his seniors, his elders, and as it turns out his betters, but only just his betters, and Halling really had to pull it out at the end.
And they've drifted across from right to left here. Halling still going well. Beecham King, the money horse, the big punt, the grey on the right. You can see Bijou Dand in behind Halling. Pentar changing on the left with definite half of his inner. They begin just to crunch up here, but there's no interferences yet. Halling running on straight enough at the moment. Jason Weaver beginning to really get to work on Bijou Dand. The crack goes in just there, bang. And they just begin to run away to the far side, John, but there's nothing coming close together. There's miles between them at the moment.
I'm glad to say I haven't seen anything yet which could even make the stewards worry. Now Halling is coming across towards Bijou Dand. Have they got to the line yet? I think they have just about, in which case there certainly was no interference.
Good afternoon. And Shamadara has just gone in there, the French challenger. Gerard Mosse. To the coup. Jerry Cusack's first classic runner, safely loaded, all ready for the Kildangan Stud Irish Oaks, and they're away. And let's see what sort of pace we're going to have here. Lady Carla is the early leader with Key Change close in second, and they're followed by Shamadara, French Ballerina, the inside. Dance Design held up in fifth, and To the Coup, the back marker of the six, as they run through the first furlong and a half or so, and it's Lady Carla who sets the pace. By a length to Key Change in second, half a length away on the inside is Shamadara, and then a 2-length break to Dance Design and Mick Canaan, followed by French Ballerina, and finally To the Coup as they head down now towards the 9 furlong pole, and Lady Carla making it by just over a length to Key Change. Johnny Murta in second, half a length away in third is Shamadara, the French challenger. 2-length gap then to Dance Design, the Pretty Polly winner, followed by To the Coup on the outside of French Ballerina. Coming up now towards the mile marker, and it's Lady Carla the favourite by a length to Key Change second. Shamadara close in third, Dance Design 2 lengths back with To the Coup alongside, improving on the outside, and they're followed by French Ballerina. Turning now past the 7 marker and beginning the climb. Lady Carla in the lead, 3/4 of a length in front of Key Change, a length back to Shamadara, To the Coup in fourth. Dance Design last but one, and the rank outside of French Ballerina last of the 6 runners as they run up now to the halfway stage in the Irish Oaks, and Lady Carla the leader by 3/4 of a length to Key Change, 2.5 lengths away Shamadara, To the Coup in fourth, and they're followed by Dance Design and finally French Ballerina past the 5 and beginning the descent, and it's Lady Carla in the lead from Key Change in second. Then the noseband, green colours of Shamadara, To the Coup getting closer on the outside. Dance Design is in fifth, and French Ballerina being pushed along at the tail of the field as they run the turn into the straight, over 3 furlongs to go, and it's Lady Carla narrowly from Key Change in second, and they're followed by Shamadara with To the Coup on the outside. Dance Design beginning to improve, now gone past To the Coup off the bend. Lady Carla asked to quicken and leads from Key Change. Shamadara, Dance Design the outside. They've a furlong and a half to go, and it's Lady Carla the leader from Key Change. Shamadara the French filly on the outside, then Dance Design, they're clear to French Ballerina, furlong out. Lady Carla headed by Shamadara, and then Dance Design the near side, and it's Dance Design on the stand side now. Dance Design and Shamadara as they race up towards the line. Dance Design, Shamadara the inside. It's going to be desperately close. It's going to be very tight as they go to the line. Dance Design just from Shamadara. Key Change. Lady Carla fades to fourth. French Ballerina a good run fifth, and they're a long way clear of To the Coup. So a photo finish to the Kildangan Stud Irish Oaks, but it does look as if Dance Design and Mick Canaan have won the big one for Dermot Weld, who of course won the Irish Derby here a couple of weeks ago with Zagreb. The double of Irish Derby and Irish Oaks hasn't been completed in the same year since Henry Cecil did it with Ali de Res and Old Vic. It's a close one, but I think we'll see that Dance Design has just prevailed.
Well, Lady Clara has set it just a nice gallop. Key Change comes and takes her on here, and then San Madara in the green Aga Khan colours comes to challenge. Mick Canan lays down his challenge last of the four on Dance Design here, probably relying on her speed, but it just took her a few moments to get into top gear. San Madara has taken over now, or Shamadara taken over from both Key Change and Lady Clara, who found nothing under pressure for Pat Edry. Shamadara has gone on here, but quickly joined now by Dance Design, and Dance Design sticks her head out. Shamadara gets back in front again about 50 yards off the line, but Dance Design won't be denied, and she puts her head down again. And for me, Dance Design has won by about maybe a head, a short head, but she has definitely won. When you're playing in your own back garden, it's always nice to call the shots, and she played last and just got her head in front at the right time. It was a gutsy performance by the Shamadara as well, who fought every way, but DK Wells' horses are in tip-top shape, and this filly, who's gone from strength to strength, we doubted her stamina on the dam side, but Sadler's Wells, the great stallion that he is, the wonderful stallion that he is, has helped her to get that extra couple of furlongs. She's a great filly. She won her maiden at Galway last year. She was second in a 1,000 guineas, third in the Coronation, came back here and won the Pretty Pollies, and now has come back and won a great day. Stan Cosgrave, who looks after the Moyglare interest here of Mr. Hafner here, is leading the winner in. Mr. Hafner
at the moment, he's unbeaten, which is a good thought to go into a race with a nice clean mind.
Well, the elder horses, of course, the weight for age scale demands that they concede £12 to the 3-year-olds. This is the 1 5-year-old in the race, Strategic Choice, who finished third in the race last year, and he won a Group 1 race in Italy last month, the Gran Premio di Milano, where he beat Deluso. Frankie, how good was that form?
I must say Strategic Choice is one of our consistent horses in Britain. He ran a great race in Italy, beat Luso, and for sure the mile in 6 at York was always been a little bit too far for him, and the mile and a half should suit him better. He ran a great race last year, if you can remember, was only a length behind Lamtara, and he particularly likes this course too, so you know, he's not ruled out either.
Well, the horse that he beat in the Gran Premio di Milano was number 3, Luso, and of course he's been a most consistent horse. Clive Britton felt that he was unlucky that day because he'd been bitten by mosquitoes. Do you have a lot of them in Italy?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, not usually, but I mean, if that is the case, you know, could have a little effect on the result.
There might be a question mark against his stay. Now, Pentar here. And as I was saying, the weight for age scale demands that a 4-year-old concede £12 to a 3-year-old. The theory is that a racehorse reaches full maturity as a 4-year-old. But Jimmy, do you feel that a horse like Pentar will have improved by that amount, £12?
Well, he could have done, Julian. The tricky thing with Pentar is Michael Hell's the way he's got to ride him, really, because he's got to be held up if he gets there just that inches too soon, as we saw with Frankie and Lamtire last year. Well, he just runs out of a little bit of puff.
Charmit 2-1 favourites, 3-1 Pentar, 5-1 Classic Cliché. He's going to be the last to be installed. Let's join Peter O'Sullivan for the 1996 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes.
Just Classic Cliché to join the other 7 for this 46th running of the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. Hooded for stalls entry. Not being very cooperative at the moment. This third favourite, Classic Cliché, is being turned. Winner of his only 2 races this year, including the Ascot Go Cup. And that's it. They're all in. Under orders. And they're away. Anas Mirabilis the first to show, and Pentar slowly away. He's way last of the 8th as Anas Mirabilis makes it from Strategic Choice. Then comes Classic Cliché and Luso. Behind Luso is Oscar Schindler. Farasan. Charmit is 1 from last, and last is Pentar and Anas Mirabilis blazing the trail from Strategic Choice. Then comes Luso and Oscar Schindler. Just in behind them, Farasan, beginning a right-hand swing now and just coming up towards the mile pole in the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes, and as they do so, it's Annus Mirabilis by about 2 lengths from Strategic Choice. Then Oscar Schindler on the inside. Lusso comes next, very close to him. Classic Cliche right up with them. Just behind them, Farasan. Pentar is still the back marker, and still one from last is the Derby winner, Shamit. Annus Mirabilis blazing a very fast trail by 2 lengths from Strategic Choice. Classic Cliche is a clear third now ahead of Oscar Schindler and Lusso and Farasan. Then come Shamit and Pentar. They're past the 6 pole, racing towards the 5, and Annus Mirabilis, who's made all the running so far by 2 lengths from Strategic Choice, then Classic Cliche, then Oscar Schindler, Lusso, Farasan, and a little gap then to Shamit, and behind Shamit is Pentar, and they're coming to the half-mile pole now, and as they do so, it's still Annus Mirabilis, the leader by 2 lengths from Strategic Choice, then Classic Cliche, then Oscar Schindler and Lusso and Farasan on the outside. Shamit getting a little bit closer, Pentar also chasing him, but they're almost into the home turn now, and it's still Annus Mirabilis, the leader, as they swing for home. It's Annus Mirabilis, the rider with the white cap. The challenger on the outside is Classic Cliche. Between horses is Strategic Choice. Then comes Shamit making a run with Pentar, but Classic Cliche has gone for home. They're racing towards the furlong pole now, and it's Classic Cliche being challenged by Pentar on the near side, and Shamit, the Derby winner, on the far side. It's Pentar, last year's second, who's taken it up now. He's gone 2 lengths clear. He's going to win the 1996 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. Pentar has won it this time. Classic Cliche is just second ahead of Shamit, with Oscar Schindler a distant 4th. Then Annus Mirabilis and Farasan and Lusso, and last with Strategic Choice. And so the result of the 1996 King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes. First, number 5, Pentar, owned by Mollis Racing, trained by Jeff Ragg, and ridden by Michael Hills at his 4th attempt. He was beaten a neck last year. Second was number 2, Classic Cliche, owned by Godolphin Racing, trained by Saeed bin Sarur, and ridden by Mick Kinnan, with third, the Derby winner, number 8, Shamit, owned by Mr. Khalifa Dasmal, trained by Willie Haggis, and ridden by Pat Edery, with 4th, Arlen's Hope, Oscar Schindler. Congratulations there from Richard Hills to his twin brother Michael, as Michael returns to the winner's circle on this son of Be My Guest out of Golnook, who has won the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes in tremendous style.
Well, what an explosive race. They went a terrific gallop. Pentar walked out of the stalls. He was last, just turning round into the straight, but he produced that terrific acceleration on the outside. Shamit today didn't pick up the way that he did in the Derby. He worked his way into 3rd place. Classic Cliche kicked for home early in the straight. Looked for a moment or so he might pull it off, but he didn't have the acceleration, the ability to quicken that Pentar did, who's looked a brilliant horse today. Classic Cliche runs on to hold on to 2nd place. Shamit, the Derby winner, is 3rd, without ever really looking like winning. We've seen 3 top-class horses today.
So Pentar's proud lad, Sean McGee, who has looked after 14 members, no less, of the Busted family.
Alongside Champagne Vintage Stakes, Putra, number 7, remains the winner, 100 to 30. But Grape Shot, number 5, is now 2nd at 9 to 1. 3rd is number 3, Equal Right, at 12 to 1. The tote dividends, 440 a win, 160 a place, 260 a place, Grape Shot, 230 a place, Equal Rights, and the due forecast, £25.30.
Well, coming into these races, classic form is always something to be noted. The one on the right at the back has certainly that against her name, Mattia, winner of the Irish 1,000 guineas, and 3rd in the Prix de Diane last time. I just didn't think she got the mile and a quarter there, Jimmy. Back to the mile, she's going to be a lot better suited, I think.
that Chantilly mile and a quarter, Jim, in fact, is one of the toughest in Europe. I've ridden several times in the Oaks there, and they take you've got to get every inch of the running there. But this is a lovely filly. I like the way she ran Bosra Sham to, what was it, length and a half in the 1,000 guineas at Newmarket. And she's a lovely filly. She's got a little bit warm in the paddock, I noticed, and she's got a little bit warm on her way down to the start as well. I hope she's not just beginning to feel her races.
Yes, she does look extremely warm. In fact, on this muggy sort of day, most of them are sweating up a bit, but she seems to be sweating excessively.
This would be, Jim, that in fact our jockey Richard Hills would be wishing he put a pair of gloves in his pocket, I think, because those reins would be pretty slippery.
Missile Cat, grey. Here's an interesting runner, number 6, El Hearth, back to the mile here after pulling extremely hard in the Irish Derby. Didn't seem to suit him at all, the blinkers. They've left the blinkers on though, Jimmy, which is interesting.
He, in fact, had no chance of getting a mile and a half because he was always seeing daylight. He was always running around 10 horses in Ireland at the Curragh. But I think they're going to go that much faster here. He might need the blinkers, Jim, because he's been trained for a mile and a half this year, and well, he'll need a bit of an edge here to keep a nice place. It'll give, in fact, Kevin Darley a bit of a chance to ride a race on it.
There's been all sorts of theories about this horse this year, but really, I'd say it's as good as he is. He was 4th in the Guineas. He was 5th in the Derby. He failed in the Irish Derby. I just really do think, Jimmy, that he was a precocious 2-year-old who certainly had a physical advantage at 2. The others seem to have caught up at 3.
That's exactly what they've done.
And Charnwood Forest now very heavily backed on the course, a bet of £20,000 down on the rails with Victor Chandler at 6-5. Now he's even money favourite. First Island is 5-1 from 4-1. Sorbitar 7-1 from 5. Then they go 8-1 Mattia, 12-1 Al Hearth just clipped from 14, 14-1 Ali Royal, 20-1 Missile Cat and Cayman Key, 25-1 Restructure, and 40-1 Heart Lake.
Well, they're going to position already. Restructure on the far side. Declared a runner if there was overnight rain. Well, there was. On the near side though, Jimmy, First Island, who's back to the mile here from the mile and a quarter to the Prince of Wales, as I thought he did need that mile and a quarter really to be effective that day.
He travels well through a race though, Jim. I've watched him run over the mile, and he's I think Jeff Ragg's never had him better. Well, there's only 2 more to go. Let's go to Peter.
And Mattia to go in the store next to us. That's it in the black cap. Just shows the strength in depth of the Mactoum team. There's a classic winner carrying the second colours, Mattia. Here is still she is. The last in is Sorbitar. That's it. That's Al Hareth, rather. He's the last in. And that's it. And that away. First Island on the near side, Missile Cat on the far side, Restructure up there too, Restructure and Missile Cat from Al Hareth and the blinkers, going right up to join him. Ali Royal then comes next, and then Mattia and Charnwood Forest and Heart Lake on the far side, Cayman Kai, Sorbitar and First Island, the back marker of the 10 runners at the moment. Missile Cat and Al Hareth. Al Hareth towards the left, Missile Cat the grey, Missile Cat the leader from Al Hareth and Restructure as they race uphill and begin the run down now towards the home turn in the Sussex Stakes, with Missile Cat, the 6-year-old senior runner, in the lead from Restructure. Al Hareth on the rail, then Mattia. Heart Lake towards the outside, Ali Royal's not far behind him. Back in 7th place is Charnwood Forest with Cayman Kai upsides him. 9 and 10 are Sorbitar and First Island as they're well into the straight now, and it's still Missile Cat from Restructure, Al Hareth over on the far side, and the near side Heart Lake, then comes Ali Royal. Charnwood Forest making steady progress over on the far side and looking for room now and being eased out by Mick Kinnan as Sorbitar comes there on the near side. First Island making good progress to the past the 2, racing towards the furlong marker. Restructure and Missile Cat from Charnwood Forest, who comes bursting through now, and Charnwood Forest has taken it up from First Island. It's Charnwood Forest and First Island as they race up towards the line. First Island and Charnwood Forest. First Island getting the better of Charnwood Forest, is going to win it, and at the line First Island has won it, and Charnwood Forest is second, and third is Al Hareth, the revived Al Hareth. Then came Sorbitar and Restructure and Missile Cat and Ali Royal, and came and Karen behind them was Mattia, and behind Mattia was Heart Lake, and so First Island completes a sensational King George VI and Queen Elizabeth Diamond Stakes and Sussex Stakes double for Moller's Racing, for Jeff Ragg and for Michael Hills. With the result, first number 2, First Island, owned by Moller's Racing, trained by Jeff Ragg and ridden by Michael Hills. Second number 1, Charnwood Forest, owned by Godolphin Racing, trained by Saeed Bin Surur and ridden by Mick Kinnan. And third was number 6, Al Hareth, owned by Sheikh Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained by Major Dick Hearn and ridden by Kevin Darley. That's the result of the Sussex Stakes.
For the second time in 4 days, Michael Hills has come from last to first in a Group 1 race, but it hasn't been easy for him. Michael Kinnan was the first man to get out in the blue colours in 4th or 5th place there. He's speared out. He's had a beautiful run as he slips in front of Mattia there, gets out, moves behind the first 3 who've set such a terrific gallop. Now Michael Hills follows him through, and he's hoping for a clear run through, as clear a run as Michael Kinnan. But it isn't as easy as that, because as you see on his outside is Sorbet Tower still going well, and for a moment he looks held in. And Kevin Darley switches to the left there on Alharth, and for a moment he's the meat in the sandwich. Is the gap going to come for him behind Charnwood Forest and on the inside of Sorbet Tower? But in the end it does, and gloriously, Frankie.
Yes, Michael rode a fantastic race once again. He sat behind the favourite throughout. He waited for the gap the last furlong. He came through and won quite well towards the end. We won't really know how much of interference there is until we see the head-on, but obviously the best horse won, and obviously I was wrong that this horse, the mile be a little bit too sharp. It's shown he's got the turn of foot to be a miler.
Well, it was a brilliant, spectacular win, but obviously his task was eased by the brilliant gallop, the terrific gallop set by Misselcat, with Alharth hunting him up and restructure, but he's come through to win in the style of a really high-class miler. A first Group 1 success for First Island, a second in 4 days for Moller Racing, Jeff Ragg and Michael Hills. The winner returned 5-1.
1 length and 1 3/4 lengths. And officially placed 4th was Sorbitar.
And not Shadow Lead. Of the others, John was quite taken with Drive Assured, trained by Clive Britton, who moved fluently to post. I like number 7, Simon's In. I saw him run at Pontefract the other day. This is a much stiffer race than he ran in there. There's number 6, Out of Sight. John, he gave a bit of trouble last time at the stalls, and he's a little bit stirred.
Yeah, he got himself upset prior to walking into the paddock, and he's got a fair bit to find anyway on his 2 runs so far, but the experience will do him good. Only 7 runners, and Brian McMahon quite rightly letting him take his chance, but they're all in. Let's join Graham.
Kick away then for this, the D-Boy Acomb Stakes, and the early leader is Shadow Lead, that just has the edge to Simmons In racing on the far side. Out of Sight is holding a prominent position too. At this stage the favourite is tucked in behind them, taking quite a keen tug, and not really settling, probably in about last place as they go to the first quarter mile. But it's Shadow Lead that still has the edge to Revoke, sitting second, the spotted cap on the outside, and the red jacket that runs the rail with the noseband Simmons In. Then we've got Drive Assured, followed by Out of Sight, and behind these comes In Command, and Get the Point is now the trainer. Top of the home straight, down the straight they come. They've got just over 4 to go. And it's Shadow Lead with Revoke the inside, the spotted cap, Black Jacket Out of Sight. Simmons In runs the rail, Drive Assured the stand side. In Command is still towards the back as they pass the 3. It's Shadow Lead and Frankie Dettori going to be pressed on the outside now by Revoke. Here goes Out of Sight in the black colours. The favourites too from the left of the picture, the horse with the big white face, starting to get closer now. They're inside the final quarter mile, and it's Shadow Lead keeping up the gallop, but pressed now by Revoke. What a big horse he is, taken command in a matter of strides down to the final furlong. It's Revoke from Simmons In, and In Command on the outside won't be winning. It's Revoke and John Reed setting sail for home. Cleared by 2 to Simmons In, and at the line it's going to be Revoke who wins it. Revoke, Simmons In 1 and 2, and then we had Shadow Lead beating In Command. Out of Sight, Get the Point, and Drive Assured last of all. The result then of this, the Deploy Acomb Stakes, number 2, Revoke has won it in the colours of Robert Sangster. This
inauguration, a 1.25 mile championship. It's produced some memorable days, some tremendous shocks, not least when Roberto beat the great Brigadier Gerard. Halling is everybody's idea of the winner here. Can he do it again? 6-4 Halling, 3-1 First Island, 7-2 Bijou Dawn, 6-1 Bar. They're all yours, Gigi.
And wasn't last year's race so informative? What a very good horse this Halling is. Spectrum was dismounted down at the start by John Reed, as was Bijou Dawn, for a little bit of saddle adjustment, and is slotting into the stalls. So they kick away for the Jedmont International. Where's the pace coming from? Bijou down the outside of Halling. Halling sitting in front. Frank is going to ride a waiting race, shows the way to Bijou down sitting in second. Then Spectrum the outside of Grape Tree Road and Punishment, and First Island is tucked away at the back, 6 of the 6 as they make the first turn. And it's Halling under Frankie Dettori leading. To Bijou down sitting second, Spectrum third, Grape Tree Road, and First Island the outside of Punishment. Through the first quarter mile, and it's Halling stretching out in style by a couple of lengths. Halling, and Frankie looks behind to see Jason Weaver on Bijou Dawn, to see John Reed on Spectrum, to see Grape Tree Road and First Island and Punishment all in arrears. 3/4 of a mile to go, and they start the turn to home, and it's Halling who leads, to Bijou Dawn in second and Spectrum third. Grape Tree Road, the French challenger, is in 4, and then First Island getting a bit closer now. So Michael Hill's getting more competitive on First Island as Punishment finds this rather like Punishment. They start the turn in, then just over half a mile to go in the Jedmont International, with Halling at the head of affairs. The favourite leads. Bijou Dawn for Yorkshire in second place, and then in third we've got Spectrum, the light blue colours. Look to the left, see First Island, one of the most progressive horses of the year, coming through with Grape Tree Road to share fourth. Come down to the 3 furlong marker. Still Halling has the edge. Bijou Dawn. Now, Spectrum's in third and First Island in 4 and Grape Tree Road. And Halling, what a willing horse he is, the leader, coming down to the 2 furlong marker. Halling, red sleeves to the right, Bijou Dawn. Here comes First Island, Spectrum the far side, then Grape Tree Road, just over a furlong to go. Hail a champion, it's Halling clear by 3. Oh, he's going further clear. Inside the final furlong, he's lengthening. He's going away. He's done it all. What a marvellous horse. Halling 3, 4, 5 clear. Up towards the line, makes all. Halling is the winner. First Island is second, Bijou Dawn third, Grape Tree Road in this photograph with Spectrum for places, and then came Punishment, and justifiably there, Frankie Dettori delighted on what is his 68th winner of the season, but that really pales into insignificance because we are seeing a champion horse here in the colours of Godolphin, trained by Saïd bin Saror. For those of you who back tips, you've got 6-4 to your money, and well done to Cyril Humphries, the breeder of this diocese horse, Halling, and what progress he has made. He's won the Jedmont International the hard way, he's made all the running, and he really is a most wonderful racehorse. Second horse home, why that's First Island, and the noseband there giving chase to Halling, but this horse had really stretched and gone further and further clear, and he really has won with a lot of authority, a lot of ease, and a lot of joy for the jockey.
Well, he was every bit as good as last year, and there was a wonderful shot change, if you'll excuse the slang phrase, when you could see Frankie Dettori ask him to quicken, and the response was quite visible. He lengthened, you could look behind a split second later, and the others were suddenly pushing, and he maintained that sprint all the way. There's just a quick look through either his legs or between that injured elbow. You can see the others moving in behind. Spectrum and Bijou Dawn still going well within themselves, but this horse so willing, so athletic, so fluent. Now watch him quicken, just see the stride lengthen again, and as he does so, he just lugs a little bit to the right. At full stretch he tends to drift away to the right. Look behind now, they're in trouble.
Yeah, a wonderful performance this, and Frankie Dettori's thrilled that he was back in time to ride this horse. Just changes legs, gets onto that near 4. I mean, really has got a blistering turn of foot. Jim McGrath said after they'd gone 100 yards, it's all over. He was allowed to dictate the pace. Frankie Dettori, the best jockey in the business at doing that, just quickened up all the way up that straight.
Harrison, Dankerson, the Springer.
And he rather sprung out of the stalls, didn't he? By God, he went up in the air a bit, and carrying his head rather awkwardly. Willie Carson's got him back to last place now as Mons goes on. The Dusciantor in second, and Farazan and Royal Court, and then Dankerson at even top as they go through the first quarter mile. And it's Mons and Frankie Dettori leading, clear by 2 to 3 lengths. Duscianto sitting in second, and then Royal Court the outside of Farras, and then Dankerston and even top held up out the back. And taking quite a keen tug with Philip Robbins. Mons are leading, putting the pace to the race as they make this dogleg turn at the 9 furlong point. Duscianto sitting sweetly in second, and then Royal Court on the outside of Farras are moving well, and then the yellow sleeves looks toward the back, that's Dankerston, and the nose band on the right of the picture, that's even top. Our leader is Mons and Frankie Dettori. The pace looks quite sedate, and Duscianto in second, and Royal Court on the outside is third, the spotted cap, John Reed. Then we've got Farazan, and then Dankerston, really hasn't settled well, and even top still the back marker. Going to be a rush on here as they start the turn for home, and they've got 6 furlongs to go. It's Mons, Tactical Frankie slowed it down, Duscianto in second, and then third is Royal Court, and then we've got Farazan the rail, and then Dankerston still pulling away under Willie Carson, and then we've got even top. Come to the top of the home run shortly, and it's Mons leading to on the right with the pink cap, Duscianto, the blue sleeves of Royal Court, Farazan creeping between Duscianto and the rails, Dankerston the yellow sleeves, here comes even top, quickening up on the outside. This pace of race should suit him. Come down towards the 3, still Mons, still just has it, Royal Court, Duscianto the far side, even top, and Farazan and Dankerston, and they come down towards the 2, and Mons still has it. Here comes Duscianto, they've got their tongues hanging out. Royal Court back in third, and then we've got Farazan, even top, and Dankerston won't be winning from there. Down to the final furlong, and Duscianto went badly in the market, but look at him coming home. He's in style, but Mons is coming back after a bit of a breather. It's Duscianto and Mons who duel up towards the line. Duscianto and Mons, Duscianto Mons, Duscianto Mons. Duscianto beats Mons with Royal Court in third, and Farazan 4 even top 5, and Dankerston dropped out away. Be 6 of the 6, and so the result then of this, the Great Baltica at 3 to 1. Duscianto has won in the colours of Mr. Khalid Abdallah, trained at Newmarket by Henry Cecil, who fights back in the prize when he stakes. Pat Henry has ridden his 135th winner of the season.
Mac says they're very keen on Shamadara in the betting ring, and they're not keen on Silsila. So 9 to 4 Shamadara, 9 to 2 Silsila, 11 to 2 Russian Snows. They don't want key change at 13 to 2 or Shimozel at 8 to 1. Here's Graham.
Shimozel the last to load. Kick away. Well, we've made enough about the early pace through this race, and let's see who is in fact going into the lead. And it's Russian Snows, Quota now the inside, Shimozel, Whitewater Affair going up on the outside, and it's Quota, Shimozel, Whitewater Affair, Russian Snows. Then we got Key Change, Vesselgiorno sitting midfield, Silsila is out the back along with Shamadara as they go through the first quarter mile. And the pace is being joined by, on the inside, Quota the pink cap, on the outside Shimozel, the spotted colours in behind them, Key Change, the all blue Russian Snows, wide on the course is a Whitewater Affair, Shamadara widest of all, Papering runs the rail, the white sleeves, Vesselgiorno and Silsila towards the back. So it's still Quota that leads through the first half mile of this Aston Upthorpe Yorkshire Oaks. Mezzogiorno, the yellow cap, striding up wide of Shimozel, the black cap, the red cap, Whitewater Affair, the spotted jacket Key Change, the all blue of Russian Snows, Shamadara, the French favourites on the outside as they race past the 7 furlong marker. They're quite closely grouped, only about 6 lengths between first and last, and it's Key Change on the inside of Shimozel who share the work. Sitting third now, Quota, 4 Whitewater Affair, 5 Russian Snows, 6 is Mezzogiorno, and 7 is Silsila. Then Papering runs the rail, and Shamadara is the back marker. These French horses often come with a rush. Come down past the 5, and it's Key Change that has it, 2 on the outside, Shimozel, the black cap, and then Quota wide on the course now, Whitewater Affair, Russian Snows, Silsila travelling well in blue and yellow colours. Blue and yellow colours, Mezzogiorno, that's a filly wearing the noseband coming forward now. Shamadara is still last, but they've got 3.5 to go, and it's Key Change that runs the rail, then Shimozel, Whitewater Affair. Frank is screaming for room on Russian Snows, not finding it. Mezzogiorno papering flat to the boards of the rail. Silsilla a bit tame. Here comes Shamadara. Green colours on the outside. They flash past the two-pole, and it's Key Change in the lead. Now he's got a run on Russian Snows in blue, and closing in on the leader, Key Change. Come down to the final furlong. Key Change, Russian Snows, papering Shimozel. Silsilla's looks going to be pulled up. They're inside the final furlong, and it's Key Change clear by 3 to Russian Snows, and papering playing for places only, because this goes to Ireland. It's Key Change, papering Russian Snows 1, 2 and 3, and then behind these came Mezzogiorno, Whitewater Affair, but a disappointing Shamdara, but in front of Shimozel and Quota, and looking back he eased Silsilla right down. She did in fact finish, but some way remote, and so 7 to 1 the winner of this Aston Upthorpe Yorkshire Oaks is trained in Ireland by John Ox. This one in the colours of Lady Clay, the colours of maroon and white spots. At 7 to 1 have been in the firing line throughout, and well ridden by John Murder to come home in style in this Group 1 race. Second horse home, number 4 papering, the mount of Kevin Darley. Third was number 1 Russian Snows. Perhaps didn't get the best of luck in running, but when she did see an opening, wasn't good enough to get to either our winner Key Change or hold the renewed late thrust of papering. That's the 1, 2, 3. Key Change our winner, papering second, Russian Snows third, and here comes this daughter of Darshan storming home for the line.
At 8 to 1, Beecham Jade. On 9s, Clerkenwell and Ambassador. Better Offer and Foundry Lane both at 12 to 1. And then on 14s, Top Seas, Late Line Legend and Monarch, and it's 16 to 1 bar.
So expect the early pace to come from Lake Line Legend or Snow Princess. That's about it. They kick away for the Totee ball. It's £100,000 in prize money here. And through the first furlong, it's going to be Midnight Legend that goes on. Desert Frolic runs the rail, and these are 1 and 2. With Time for Action sitting in third, and then Clerkenwell pulling hard in 4. Followed then by Ambassador sitting well in 5, and Foundry Lane with that one. Ramadi Sun is well out the back with Naked Welcome, but on the front end there's a mile and a half left to race. It's Midnight Legend and Time for Action. Red cap, Desert Frolic. Blue cap just off the pace is Ambassador. Red colours out wide, Merlana Move. Very wide on the course in Stars is Prussian Blue. Green cap behind them, Harbour Dews. Snow Princess sitting midfield in company with Foundry Lane and Clerkenwell just off the pace. Dreams End is behind that one. And they continue at a breakneck pace. Benfleet is last, Ramadi Sun last but 1. Also towards the back is Corradini and Top Seas and Naked Welcome. They're the last 5. Monarch sits midfield and just had to be checked as they make this dogleg turn and start the run towards the home straight. And they've got still over a mile to go. And it's Frankie on the top weight, Midnight Legend out in command. 2, Time for Action in second, and they're running the rail in third is on the inside Desert Frolic, and then comes Ambassador followed by Clerkenwell and Merlana Move. Prussian Blue is sitting wide on the course. So Midnight Legend, red cap is Desert Frolic, blue and yellow colours Time for Action. Then we have Ambassador sitting 4, followed by Prussian Blue in 5, and behind that one nosing through Merlana Move taking a keen turn. Clerkenwell, the rail, Harbour Dews the outside. Then Snow Princess and My Learned Friend and Dreams End and Monarch and Lake Line Legend. And these are followed by Corradini, who's just starting a run as they pass the 6 furlong marker. And the pace is really on, and it's now Desert Frolic that gains the day. Desert Frolic by 3 parts of the length to Midnight Legend. Time for Action, Dale Gibson sits third on the home turn. Ambassador 4, Clerkenwell poised in 5. Then behind these comes Prussian Blue. Harbour Dews just nosing closer. Then Mail, Anna Mood, Dreams End runs the rail. Lake Line Legend behind these. These are followed by My Learned Friend. Top Seas with a lot of work to do. Better Offer is well out the back, and so too Monarch and Benfleet, and so too Naked Welcome. Down the straight they come, and it's the red cap of Desert Frolic who goes for home. Here with the white sneers comes Clerkenwell with a strong run, 4 pounds overweight. Ambassador behind these. From the back, Prussian Blue. Beecham Jade sitting pretty now, making ground, but Clerkenwell is fully committed, and with 2 furlongs to go, it's clear by 3 lengths of the Totee ball. 2 in second place, Prussian Blue, then Desert Frolic. Behind these, Beecham Jade starts to pick up for a place. Ramadi Sun on the outside, they're down to the final furlong now, and Clerkenwell has skipped 5 clear of Beecham Jade and Prussian Blue, Ramadi Sun and Harbour Dews, and Better Offer picking up for the back. Clerkenwell is tying up. Here comes Beecham Jade with a late run. Clerkenwell's going to take it at the post. Clerkenwell, Beecham Jade from nowhere. Corradini finishes third. Harbour News 4, Ramadi Sun 5. Then Better Offer and Top Seas. These are followed through by Prussian Blue, and then Naked Welcome and Mail and a Move by Learned Trend. Ambassador and Delic Fullerton, Late Line Legend and Brentfleet, and then Dreams End and Time for Action and Foundry Lane and Snow Princess. And Monarch was last, but one last of all was Midnight Legend. And so the result then of this, the Tote Ebor handicap, it's gone to Clerkenwell in the colours of Sheikh Mohammed, this Sadler's Wells horse trained by Michael Stout. Did very much the same thing as Deposky a few years ago, didn't he, Michael? He got Francis Norton, very much the flavour of the month at that time, to ride him, and Clerkenwell has won it for Fergal Lynch here, despite that overweight. His 55th winner of the season, cool and confident. Second horse home is number 7, Beecham Jade, this one ridden by Gary Carter, and the third horse home is number 5, Corradini, the mount of Kieran Fallon. The fourth horse home, I think we'll find, is number 15, Harbour Dews and Jimmy Quinn. So for those of you who took the hint with Kieran Fallon, he fancied Corradini, of course, trying to get a big race win for Henry Cecil, but he had Clerkenwell high up on the shopping list.
Well, this was a rough race in behind early on. I suppose it's to be expected with so many runners. A lot of bumping and boring. You'd need to watch it 3 or 4 times to get all the incidents. What was remarkable about it was with such a competitive race, John, we're into the straight now. Jason Weaver's kick for home on Desert Frolic, we're going to be reeled in, is that the confidence this jockey shows, Fergal Lynch, in committing so far out. It's a long way out to go, isn't it?
Certainly a long way out, but this horse had run well over 2 miles at Ascot. There was never any doubt about him getting the trip here. And just look at Beecham Jade and Gary Carter. They've certainly let this horse get a fair old reef and a run on them at this stage. Just beginning to get after the filly at this point, but it's all too late. Clerkenwell's a 1-horse race. Another wonderful training performance from Michael Stout. And you got a wonderful tip in itself earlier from Kieran Fallon, who said this horse could be a group horse, and if you didn't take notice of that, then no point in you watching the TV. He'll give a good account of himself.
To call a steward's inquiry to the outcome of this race. For my money, Abu Zoo's the winner, has certainly drifted across inside the final furlong and intimidated Compton Place, and also the West was slightly knocked off his stride. Whether it made any difference to the result? Coming forward now, Halo Wing. Jason Weaver, this filly scheduled to go in last, getting pretty warm enough. Lined up. And they kick away, and what a very good level break. And Halo Wing possibly just the leader on the far side in Yellow Daylight Dreams, and with a pink cap between the pair, well worn. White cap is Bianca Nera, a line of 4, followed by Moonshine Girl. See with the favourites, the white colours on the far side. Red jacket, or the scarlet jacket, is Arethusa. Then we've got Carmine Lake. And Eyeshadow is the back marker. So they come through the first quarter mile, and they're leaving Eyeshadow behind, but the others quite closely grouped, headed by Well Worn, who made the run at Haydock the other day. Then we have Look to the left with the noseband Bianca Nera, towards the right in Yellow Daylight Dreams. The favourite is with a noseband on the extreme right in white. Arethusa is making ground, so too Moonshine Girl. So they come down towards the final quarter mile, and the chips are down now, and the Stackers Casino load the stakes, and it's Bianca Nera and Arethusa in the scarlet jacket, and Carmine Lake and Moonshine Girl. They're inside the final furlong now, and it's Arethusa in the lead. Bianca Nera, Carmine Lake is switched to the stand side, clicking on well. Moonshine Girl and CB the far side, but it's Arethusa passed by Bianca Nera. Bianca Nera battling, and it's Bianca Nera who's going to take it at the post. Bianca Nera beats Arethusa, then back into third with CB. These in front of Carmine Lake and Moonshine Girl, and after these Eyeshadow. Then we have Well Warned, Pataderi looking round and behind on that one, followed through by Daylight Dreams, and the last two past the post was Halo Wing. And so the result then of this, the Stackers Casino Ladder Stakes, Bianca Nera has won at 6-1. Don't know how much more evidence we need that the loader horses really are the ones to be on. 6-1, the one that was rock solid in the market. This recent Beverley winner is ridden by Kevin Darley, for whom this daughter of South, in the colours of Mr. S. Frisbee, bred by McCreary and the Stolehill stud, have landed this Group 2 race. There she is, Kevin Darley's 72nd winner of the season, and a double, big race double here at York for David Loader. I thought at many stages in the red colours Arethusa was going to land the spoils, but that proved not to be. Third horse home is number 2, CB, who could never really accelerate. They've finished in a little bit of a heap here.
Yes, Cool Jazz, who would have been the second choice for the pick of the paddock, but the one the judges went for the best turned out went to Ian O'Leary, who looks after Mind Games. So he's £100 this afternoon. Real old favourite of mine, Cool Jazz. Just a shame, like Struggler, that we hadn't had a little bit of rain for him. Richard Quinn on board, but the right man for him. He's got the right draw, he likes running against the rails. A couple more left to go. Let's join Graham.
Nunthorpe, 5 furlong dash, here they go. Kick away, and Mind Games gets away well. Now they wanted to come down the centre, and it's Mind Games who leads from Cool Jazz. And then Pivotal and Wind Machine, and Evening Performance, the far side, and Struggler, and then the back marker is Catch the Blues outpace. Mind Games on the left, Evening Performance the right, come down towards the halfway stage, and then Wind Machine running fast, and Struggler, as I say, and also up with the pace is Heaver Golf Rose. Pivotal toward the left, Wind Machine starts to drop away. Cool Jazz and Catch the Blues simply outpaced. They've got a quarter of a mile to go, 2 furlongs only. Evening Performance and Mind Games 1 and 2. Red Jacket on the left, Pivotal. The black jacket, Heaver Golf Rose. They come down towards the final furlong, and it's Evening Performance. Mind Games and Pivotal look towards the left, then Heaver Golf Rose. Behind that, Struggler can't live with them. Inside the final furlong now, and it's Evening Performance in the lead. Here comes Heaver Golf Rose. Pivotal's putting in a big finish. Evening Performance and Pivotal, as they drive to the line, it's going to be close. A photo! Oh, a close call. Pivotal, Evening Performance, Heaver Golf Rose. Then came Catch the Blues, followed by Mind Games. And then we've got Struggler and Cool Jazz, and the field trail back to the back marker. Last of all was Wind Machine. And so the outcome of this, the Nunthorpe Stakes. Oh, it's a so close call. Let's check the freeze frame. At the bottom of the picture, we've got Pivotal in the red jacket, George Duffield driving for the line. Has he prevailed? That evidence seems to suggest that he has. Evening Performance, the far side on that evidence, and back in third place is Heaver Golf Rose. Mind Games back in fourth. Catch the Blues finished in fifth. And from the other side, well, it's even closer, isn't it? A closer call. Nearest to us is Evening Performance. Chris Rutter has this flying filly, this night shift filly, made all of the colours of Mr. David Blackburn for Henry Candy, and given Chris Rutter a big one, a big Group 1 winner. Or has Pivotal and George Duffield laid the Group 1 ghost for Sir Mark Prescott in the colours of the Cheveley Park Star? Looking down in the ring, I can see even money about Evening Performance. They think Pivotal's won.
It looks as though Sir Mark Prescott has won his first Group 1 race with Pivotal, returned Burlington Bertie, 133rd favourite. Evening Performance, a 16-to-1 chance, and it looks as though she's died on the line. Heaver Golf Rose is third at 11-to-4. Mind Games 7-to-4 favourite, but they're betting big odds on here. They're asking for 1 to 10. 10 on that Pivotal has won at Burlington Bertie, 130.
Well, an interesting start. Watch the Swedish filly, Wind Machine, because a little bit of bumping leaving the stalls, and a rider loses an iron there. Didn't help George Duffield either. Just knocked a little bit out of his stride. They went a blistering gallop, John. Evening Performance, Heaver Golf Rose, Wind Machine and Mind Games there with Struggler.
Yeah, she was always up there. Struggler just ran a little bit free early on. I just think the ground's probably a bit fast for him. Not able to hold a position when he wanted to. Evening Performance beginning to dominate at this stage. Mind Games running well enough. A couple of furlongs left to run at this point, and already George Duffield just beginning to knuckle down and get after this horse. And if Pivotal's won, he wasn't in front anywhere but right on the line, because they're running right up to the furlong marker now, and you'd have said that Henry Candy's filly on this side, Evening Performance, and the Chris Rutter is just going to hold on, but Pivotal come in all the time. And if you'd watched it from that camera, you'd have said you'd collect it. We know different from having watched on the line. It was much closer than that.
Jersey Stakes. It was a really incredibly brave bit of riding. See Richard just sitting there comfortably while the front runners are kicking for home, and he waits for a gap to come. The gap closes on him there, so it wasn't easy for him at all, and he sat with total confidence. The horse has got there. In the end, he's almost got there too soon. He's hit the front 50-yard line. Looks as though he'd win. Well, he did go away to win comfortably, cosily in the end. Brilliant performance. So I asked David Loader one question about him today. He's drawn one. Was that going to be a big disadvantage for him?
I hope not. I've discussed the race with Frankie. I think the first few in the betting seemed to be on that side of the draw. I ran a horse in a sprint here a couple of weeks ago, and the winner came from up the far side on the soft ground. So, the horse, he should be fine, I hope.
It's 7.5 weeks since his last run, the July Cup. Has he had a good preparation for this race?
Yes, he has. He's done very well physically since the July Cup, and he did a nice bit of work on the July course at Newmarket about a fortnight ago. And he's in pretty good shape.
And your other runner, of course, is the filly Blue Duster, brilliant last year. Could she be better than the Cairn Prince today?
Well, I have to say I was very disappointed with her run in France, and no reason came to light for it. She's very well in herself, but she's obviously got a few questions to answer today.
She had her setbacks, Julian. In fact, Blue Duster at the beginning of the season, she had quite a lot of muscle problems, so she was sent to Dubai for the warmth of their sunshine, came back, won a small race at Yarmouth, and, well, then she was thrown into the deep end in the Middle East at Deauville, and she couldn't answer the calls that day, but she looked well in the paddock. Not a lot of her, as you see, but a very quality filly.
Drawn 11, it'll be interesting to see how John Reid rides her.
There he is. The horse we just looked at, Prince, and as Julian pointed out, he's 3-1 from 11-4, but as Julian pointed out, he's one that's got to be held up. I don't think he's got the best of draws to do that, but Frankie Durr is a dab hand at tucking a horse away and getting a run.
But so many others here with a bit of a chance. This is a great favourite, Heber Golf Rose, who had that wonderful season last year, climax by winning the Prix de l'Abbé at Longchamp, but she just can't get her head in front this season.
Well, I think the reason for that, Julian, is that she's a much better filly when she's running on softer ground than she's got here today. When she's running against this type of animal, genuine Group 1 winners, which she is on soft ground when she won the Abbey, but I think the ground's going to prove plenty fast enough for her here.
She's got a new jockey today, Jimmy Fortune, because, of course, Jason Weaver is suspended. Danehill Dancer. Now, this is the colt who finished third in that race at Deauville, which Anna Barr won from our favourite Mies Son, the Prix Maurice de Geest. Well, they were optimistic about this horse earlier in the week when it looked as though there was some cut in the ground, but the confidence, the optimism's ebbed away a little bit as the ground's firmed up.
That run at Deauville, Julian, was by far his best this season, but as you say, the ground possibly against him today.
Cool Jazz being installed there. He's the rank outsider of the whole lot. Number 10 there is Heber Golf Rose. Number 7 in the background, Rambling Bear. This is the filly Blue Duster, just backing away, and here is Iktimar. Iktimar, who was well back in the offices this morning, also ran at Deauville in that race, finished fourth, but the faster ground today would be in his favour. Willie Rahn rides in. He's already won over the course. He's drawn 9, and quite a few people think he's got a good each-way chance.
Including the racing manager, Joe Mercer. He's got to be held up, though, Julian. In fact, he saw much too much daylight when he ran in Deauville today. I think you'll see Willie Rahn trying to blind him early on.
Very tight at the top of the market. Mies Son just holding on to favouritism at 11-4, 3-1 Lucain Prince, 7-1 Danehill Dancer, and Heber Golf Rose 8-1 Bar. In the background, number 8, last season's top 2-year-old colt, Royal Applause, winner of the Middle Park Stakes, but he hasn't reproduced his 2-year-old form yet this season, although he won a small race at Doncaster.
Had his setbacks earlier on in the season with that cold spring, but he hasn't really found that form. I'm just wondering whether he has trained on. Because his form has been a little bit below par. But I think he's running over his favourite trip today, 6 furlongs.
I should have said top 2-year-old sprinter, of course, because Al Harth was the top rated. Here's Good Old Mind Games running his last race, ridden by Richard Hughes today. He's always been better over 5 than 6. It's going to be tough for him today. In the background, Lucain, Iktimar, 5-2 favourite now, Mies Son. Here's Jim.
And away they go for the Haydock Park Sprint Cup of 96, and dropping in behind Rambling Bear early. On the right of picture, Royal Applause began well with Catch the Blues, and Heave Golf Rose on the near side with the red armlets is right up there. Right there in the centre, Cool Jazz in behind them. Yes, Sun with the white cap is tracked over to be about fourth last. Just ahead of him is Blue Duster, and right out the back, Ictamal and company with Lakay and Prince. They're tracking over to the stands rail as expected, and Royal Applause it is who's up there with Heave Golf Rose blazing the trail. A length and a half clear of Blue Duster. Mind Games behind them. Catch the Blues is next from Danehill Dancer. In behind them, Ictamal held up from Cool Jazz. Then Miet Sun with 5 lengths to make up. White Cap second from the right. Tracking him is Lakay and Prince as they run inside the final 2 furlongs. It's Heave Golf Rose and Royal Applause being tackled by Mind Games in the centre, running a great race. Blue Duster there as well. Catch the Blues behind them. Yes, Sun given a slap with the whip. Ictamal looking for a way through. A furlong left to go. Blue Duster on the near side has phased up to Heave Golf Rose, who's giving plenty. They're followed by Catch the Blues and Ictamal. It's Blue Duster, and Ictamal bursting through on the near side takes the lead, and Ictamal gets up to win the Haydock Park Sprint Cup. Blue Duster a game second, third Catch the Blues, tight for fourth between Lakay and Prince and Heave Golf Rose. BS Sun didn't run on from Mind Games, followed by Danehill Dancer. Behind them, Cool Jazz, then Royal Applause, who's one of the last to pull up in this Haydock Park Sprint Cup of 1996. And the winner, number 2, Ictamal, a chestnut colt by Danzig Connection, owned by Sheikh Maktoum El Maktoum, trained by Ed Dunlop. What a wonderful season he's having. And ridden by Willie Ryan. Second, number 11, Blue Duster, ridden by John Reed, a great run, returning to form. And third, number 9, Catch the Blues for Ireland, ridden by Christy Roach. It's very close for fourth, and that's between number 10, Heave Golf Rose, and 6, Lakay and Prince. But here's the winner.
Ictamal wins it by lengths from the brave Blue Duster. Great to see here, back in form. Ireland's Catch the Blues is third, Heave Golf Rose is fourth. Lakay and Prince ran on to be fifth, never got into it, and Mind Games was sixth. Well, John Hammond said it, a graveyard for favourites, and favourite backers near their fate some way out. Look, one from the right, Mias Sun never got into it. Lakay and Prince behind with the white cap, just came from well off the pace last early on, but never got in a blow. The pace was on the rails, Heave Golf Rose pressed all the way by the brave Blue Duster. In between them, Willie Ryan's looking for room, or just behind them looking for room on Ictamal. Mind Games flatters for a moment, but he's beaten at the furlong marker. And now John Reed drives Blue Duster into the lead at the furlong marker, but Willie Ryan is waiting for his moment to pounce, and now he does.
Second colours of Maktoum El Maktoum, the red cap, as you can see there. Now, this is not the easiest to ride, this horse. He's a very, very good racehorse, but he's got to be produced right on the line of which he's done. A good training feat from Ed Dunlop, and also a great ride from Willie Ryan.
Yes, wonderful triumph for Ed Dunlop. He's in Keeneland today. It's his biggest win in the UK, and Willie Ryan delivered the goods.
As you say, Blue Duster, it's lovely to see this filly back in form. She really stretches, puts her head out in the hands of John Reed, and by this time I thought she was going to get the race. But Willie Ryan on Ictamal sees the opening in between her and the rails, goes for it and asks for it, and gets it all right the way down the line. As I say, he's a very good racehorse, but not the easiest to ride, Julian. You've got to time it just right. Willie Ryan has done that very thing today to pick up this horse's first Group 1 race, and well, what a stallion he's going to make when he goes to start.
It was always a race that was going to go to the jockey who had the rub of the green. Willie Ryan had that. The ground came right, and he's won the Group 1 Haydock Park Sprint.
Ictamal, the 10-to-1 winner, and an elated Willie Ryan bringing back.
At 7-4 favourite for this oldest classic, 5-1 Mons, on 7-1 Gordy, who's very weak, on 8-1 St Maurs and Chantou, showing at 10s then the eye-catching Sharif Kabir, 10-1 Heron Island, and money for Willawanda from 25s down to 16-1, a popular each-way fancy. 16s Flying Legend at 25-1 Samran, and Desert Boy at 50-1.
Sorry, John, go on.
Well, I was going to say, on a warm afternoon, it's not surprising that many of these horses have got themselves into a little bit of a sweat, but far and away the first to do so was Mons, and he has got warm before.
Him, John, isn't it?
I know he's got warm before in the past, but I don't think I've actually seen him quite this bad.
It really is a fabulous big race occasion this afternoon. The Doncaster team deserve full praise for all their efforts this week. It's been the best St Leger meeting I've ever been to. And I'm sure the jockeys are relishing the big occasion as much as we are. They're going to their stalls now.
They've also been repaid by the crowd as well. I mean, the racing, normally we say about 4 days being very difficult to sustain a decent race card on each day, but they've certainly done that. And this afternoon, they've been rewarded with the weather, which has brought crowds. And let's hope everybody has a good time, backs a few winners, and we'll be back again. Seems a far cry from a cold November day when it's drizzling here. Let's remember this and get some last words from Mac.
Every bookmaker on the track will lose if Duscianto wins the St Leger. 7-4, touching 15-8 though in places. Out to 5 Mons and 11-2. 1 or 2 bookmakers are calling. Terrible support for Gordy right out to 7-1. They've come again for Chantou to Tory's Choice, an 8-1 chance, and it's also 8-1 you can have against St Maur's. Blinkertall's touching wood when one in blinkers in 82. Can St Maur's do it? 8-1.
So just one more to be installed for the Potemkin Leger. That one is Mons. Duscianto at 7-4, Mons at 5-1, Gordy 7-1, Chantou 8-1, St Maur's 8-1. Mons coming forward now. Just getting a little bit hot. Oscar Urbina, a first St Leger ride. Interesting to see where the pace is going to come from early. 1 or 2 horses with proven stamina. Will they go out and make it? Will they be the pair for the hounds? Mons going into the stalls in his own time. That's it. They're lined up. Kick away then. Desert Boy a little bit slow to strike. Gordy wide on the course, and Sheriff Kabir is attacking, and Richard Quinn is taking no prisoners. Monzi inside. Willawanda runs a rail. Then we've got Flying Legend and Samran and Desert Boy sitting midfield. Chantou, one of the big players, are well down the track at this stage. Duscianto taking a very keen hold indeed, and it's Mons that's come through to take it up now. Mons the leader, to Sheriff Kabir in second, Willawanda showing third, Flying Legend the outside of Samran. Then comes Gordy, followed by Duscianto with Desert Boy running the rail. Then we have St Maur's, and the back marker is Heron Island as they race away from the pack stand. Chantou is midfield, but Mons is attacking, and that's the leader by 3 parts of the length. Mons it is, to Sheriff Kabir in second. Then going third is Willawanda, on the outside Flying Legend, then Chantou, then Samran, then Gordy and Desert Boy. And Duscianto being given plenty of work to do by Patadari, is lying in 8th place as they continue to race away from them. The only 2 behind are St Maur's and Heron Island now, as they continue their journey down the far side of the track, with Mons leading, to Sheriff Kabir in second. The pace looks steady. Willawanda the inside of Flying Legend, then Chantou and Samran. Then we have Gordy, followed by Desert Boy and Duscianto, with St Maur's and Heron Island still the back markers. Mons leading at the end of the first 3/4 of a mile, just has the edge, to Sheriff Kabir, with then in third place is Flying Legend the outside of Willawanda, then Chantou the outside of Samran, then Gordy, then Desert Boy, followed by Duscianto, and still St Maur's and Heron Island are going to be played late. They're halfway in the Pertemps Leger, and it's Mons who leads, to Sheriff Kabir. He's striding into good effect in front of Flying Legend, stretching well the outside of Willawanda. Then Chantou sets the middle of Samran, the blue jacket, the rail. Gordy, the start steer jacket on the outside. Then Duscianto making a mid-race move now as they make the progress towards the home straight. Under 3/4 of a mile to go. And it's Mons in the lead, to Sheriff Kabir the outside, then Willawanda, and then Flying Legend. Gordy wide on the track. Duscianto is pulled wide, and Patadari just starting to work along now. Desert Boy is towards the back. St Maur's is running well. Chantou, but it's Sheriff Kabir that goes on now as they come down towards a 3 furlong marker. Sheriff Kabir, Duscianto, pink cap on the outside, is picking up well and moving in great strides, but it's Sheriff Kabir that's got first run. Willawanda, but Patadari, is he confident on Duscianto the outside? Chantou with a run. St Maur's is pulled wide. Flying Legend next to the rails. They've got 2 furlongs to go, and it's Sheriff Kabir. Duscianto now, he asks him to go the outside of Willawanda. Mons is coming back for more. Here comes Chantou, the white sleeve jacket on the outside, down to the final furlong, and it's Duscianto and Chanteau. The Vodafone derby repeating itself in the Pertemps and Ledger as Duscianto digs deep and Chanteau is putting in a big finish. Duscianto and Chanteau as they drive to the line. It's going to be a desperately close call here, and Chanteau's getting there at the post. Chanteau lifts it, Duscianto second, Samran in third, and then Mons and St Maurs, followed by Willawanda and Sharaf Kabir and Heron Island. Then Flying Legend. The last one to finish was Gordy. Last of all was the boy. And so the result of this eventful Pertemps and Ledger, it's gone to number 9 Chanteau at 8-1. Frankie Dettori has got it right. He's won his second classic, and John Gosden wins his first classic, and Chanteau wins at 8-1. This one in the colours of Sheikh Mohammed is homebred, this alleged horse, and by God, he really had to work hard, because close home he prevailed and he beat Duscianto, who was given a brilliant ride by Pat Heddery. Third horse home was number 8 Samran, that the man of John Carroll, having his first ride in the St Ledger, and well has he ridden Samran. Fourth horse home, why, that was number 7 Mons, but Frankie Dettori, the triumphant winner of this, the Pertemps and Ledger. He won it last year with Classic Cliché, and he won it this year with number 9 on the card, Chanteau. He had the choice of many horses in this race. He got it right.
Well, what a wonderful race, and the right man on board. Absolutely ecstatic, and I think most of his pleasure will be for the fact that his boss John Gosden has trained this horse. He's been rewarded for staying loyal to him. He had the choice, as Graham said, of riding 2 or 3 horses in this race, and different tactics today. They were in front of Duscianto at Epsom for the Derby. Today he was always intent on waiting and waiting. Pat just came along, is outside about the furlong and a half mark, and probably just holding him a little bit. And Frankie, I should think, pleased of it. I think the plan was always to come late, keep him handy, keep him sweet, but come late. And that's exactly how the race has gone.
Quite likely to kick this horse. Bit of a character. There it goes.
Well, jumps off with 3 degrees of difficulty, and a very pleased team down there. And 2 very good jockeys in the finish of this race, and it just boiled down to tactics, Jim, in the end. He waited. I should think he was in front anywhere about 50 yards from the line, was he? Yeah,
Pat was waiting to make his move, and Frankie was waiting for Pat to make that move. And you saw, again, a similar situation to York. It was a steward's inquiry called. So the drama goes on. Kisses for Frankie as he goes to weigh in. And what pleasure for John Gosden. I suppose he's got to wait for the all clear. A lot of the press have taken a great delight in that he'd taken a long time to win an English Classic. Someone having a go this morning didn't even get their facts right as regards his Group 1 winners in England. So it'll be a great relief to him that the albatross, so to speak, has finally been cast from his neck. And with a horse that you have to say is a little bit of a character, but who gave his utmost today. It was a great finish, John. Let's have a look through it again.
Well, they went just a sensible gallop, nothing mad. Sharaf Kabir and Richard Quinn just beginning to get down into the drive position now. Mons had always been taking him along, and the race just beginning with Ernest. Just look over on the far side. He'd been running along in snatches, Duscianto. Suddenly he came back on the bridle for Pat. And Willawanda, Richard Hill's just coming on the outside of Mons, but Duscianto coming there running away. And at this point, it's where But they've just got a little bit close there. Samra comes through on the outside of Sharaf Kabir, and I think Mon's just hanging a little bit. But now the race is on in earnest. Dushianta is head front. He's really battled for Pat. They've both given everything, and it's the horse on the far side, Shantu, head down, head out, who showed that final burst of speed just in the last 50 yards. Some wonderful shots, and well, the number of times you see jockeys come in and you don't know whether they've won or lost, there's no doubt with Frankie. Let's have a look at the head-on. You see Willawanda coming on the outside of Sharaf Kabir. Mons, his head just poking in the middle. Eventually Samron, and the winning trainer John Gosden is now watching with Bruff Scott.
Kabir, doesn't it?
I don't think you seem to come from the outside, John. We're all looking.
I don't think we bothered anyone bar the crowd.
No, they said it's not you or the second.
We understand it's neither the winner nor the second involved, so those pictures are just beautiful. They're not a worry to you.
No.
John, you've had great training triumphs all over the world, but how important is this one to you?
Well, it's lovely. We were second in it before with Sonas to user-friendly, and placed in an upper derby for the stand.
Mark of esteem, Godolphin colours, and you can be sure that their connections in the grandstand will be really tense. Sheikh Mohammed, the stable owner, Saeed bin Surur, Tom Albatrani, the new assistant trainer from America, and of course Simon Crisford, the racing manager. And between them they've delivered this horse to post in terrific condition, but it's just having a bit of a sweat, Jim, isn't it?
Most of it's coming from just under the saddle, and I think a lot of that's to do with they put a little bit of sorbo under there sometimes just to ease the saddle off a horse's back, and it's inclined to make horses sweat. It's a bit like when we walk around in a rubber mat and it doesn't breathe. As you can see, that's just what is happening. He's sweated from under the saddle. He's pretty cool, I think, on his neck and also behind the saddle. But he is a lovely horse, isn't he? He really is, by Darshan. And when you think, when he won at Goodwood, he showed a super turn of foot to beat Bishop of Cashel. And that day he was carrying a £6 penalty for his Guinness win, which was a very good effort. There is Frankie. Rather a good picture of Frankie. And what
it really is amazing, the hidden agenda here, because remember it was 12 months ago exactly on this day that Sheikh Mohammed gave that never to be forgotten press conference which presaged the split between himself and Henry Cecil, and this horse was the subject, the cause of his discontent. Within a week the horse boxes arrived at Warren Hill to take the horses away, including this horse. He went to Dubai, this horse. He came back, was knocked back in the spring after he won the 2,000 guineas by the cold weather, but now in the autumn back to his peak, and the horse who almost certainly is going to decide the prize which is so much coveted by those two men, Henry Cecil and Sheikh Mohammed.
There is Bijou Dand. What a brave horse he is. I don't think there's a braver horse in the whole of the British Isles. He really doesn't know when to quit, as he showed us here in the St James's Palace. He pulled a victory really out of the fire. He stuck his old head out and showed all the courage of a top miler.
They're starting to go into the stalls. A great famous race in prospect. Let's join Peter O'Sullivan in the grandstand.
Nice and relaxed down there at the mile start in preparation for this 41st running of the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes. Here's the filly, Bosrasham, who's due into stall number 7, hooded for stalls entry and not looking exceptionally cooperative at the moment. Willie Carson was mentioned earlier, and I should mention that Willie won this race, or has won this race, no less than 8 times so far. We hope, Willie, you'll have a chance of picking up the threads of success again. Bosrasham, inch by inch, with Pat Edery, looking for his 4th victory in this great race, worth £199,020 to be exact to the winner, of which the owner receives £157,552, just 3 to go, and this is First Island, one of the seniors. Next to Bosrasham there is Soviet Star, was third last year, 9-4 Ashkelani, 100-30 now, Bosrasham and Mark of Esteem has been on the slide all the time, 11-2 bar, there goes Ashkelani. And now Mark of Esteem due into stall number 5, and he'll be the last to be installed.
Last one coming in.
These winners of over 2 million, earners of over £2 million between them. He got a little bit warm and now he's just a little bit on his toes. This son of Darshan with a white face, that's it, he's in. Under orders for the Queen Elizabeth II stakes. And they're running. Bosrasham towards the left, over on the far side Bijou Dand, and it's Bosrasham and Bijou Dand in the early stages. From Sharnwood Forest, then First Island, then Mark of Esteem, then Ashkelani, and finally Soviet Star, and Bijou Dand has settled down in the lead. From Bosrasham, the filly, over on the far side is Sharnwood Forest, then comes First Island, Mark of Esteem, Ashkelani, and Soviet Star. Bijou Dand, the leader, from the only filly, Bosrasham. Then comes Sharnwood Forest. Mark of Esteem is 4, 5, 6, and 7 are First Island, Soviet Star, and Ashkelani as they race towards the half-mile pole in this Queen Elizabeth II stakes. And it's Bijou Dand, the leader, from Bosrasham and Sharnwood Forest. They're past the half-mile pole, racing towards the home turn now, and still Jason Weaver on Bijou Dand by 2 lengths from the filly Bosrasham, then Sharnwood Forest. Then comes Mark of Esteem on the inside of First Island. Ashkelani is still the back marker of the 7 runners as they swing into the straight. 2.5 furlongs only to run now. Bijou Dand being pressed by Bosrasham. Then comes Sharnwood Forest unleashing a run in the white cap. Then behind them First Island. And here comes Ashkelani now on the outside. But it's Bosrasham, the filly, who's taken it up and attempting to become the first filly to win it, who won the Guineas in 40 years. But Mark of Esteem sprints, and Mark of Esteem and Frankie Dettori, he completes a fantastic treble. Frankie, Mark of Esteem has won it from Bosrasham. First Island was third, and 4 came Sharnwood Forest, and the disappointing Ashkelani, Bijou Dand, and Soviet Star, who finished third last year, was last this time. And so the result, an electrifying victory for number 6, Mark of Esteem, owned by Godolphin Racing, trained by Saeed bin Surur and ridden by Frankie Dettori, his third winner of the afternoon, third winner for Saeed and third winner for Godolphin. Second was number 7, Bosrasham, owned by Mr. Wafik Saeed, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Pat Edery. And third was number 2, First Island, owned by Mollers Racing, trained by Jeff Ragg and ridden by Michael Hills. With fourth, number 1, Sharnwood Forest. This is the winner of the 1996 Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, Mark of Esteem. He came there with the most blinding turn of speed you've ever seen at the end of this classic race.
And what a stunning, fantastic performance this was. Bijou Dand made the running, but at his own pace. Pat stayed on his shoulder. He was the first one to pounce on Bosrasham. It looked as though his first run would be successful. Ashkelani, coming from behind, came wide, but didn't pick up quite the way Gerard Mosse hoped that he would. And Frankie, waiting, patient, waiting to pounce, waits till the last furlong, and then he says go, and the response was electrifying.
A bit fast for her today. You can see there her head's just popped back into Pat's lap a little bit. But here we have Mark of Esteem, 2,000 guineas winner, tackling Bosrasham, 1,000 guineas winner. Here he begins to wear the filly down. The stronger of the two, a colt, and I think maybe might be liking the ground that little bit better. But Bosrasham battles on bravely. But Mark of Esteem really has shown that he's a colt of the highest class today.
He's got the speed, he's got the acceleration, and he's got Frankie Dettori. And he's got the willingness to go and win his race too. A 2,000 guineas winner whose merit was questioned. Well, there's no question about it now. He's the champion miler of Europe. He's beaten the best, and Frankie's going to tell everyone.
Frankie not exactly showing any signs of disappointment with Mark of Esteem, the 130 winner of a historic Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, in which he produced the most amazing turn of foot to complete a remarkable travel on.
Not many 2-year-olds run in this race, but Carmine Lake represents that age group. Of course, she was a 2-year-old. She's already installed in stall 4, ridden by Richard Quinn, because John Reed can't do the weight today. So a 5-2 on favourite for the opener on Arc Day, Anabar. It'll be a major sensation if he's beaten in the foreground. Rambling Bear backing away there. He comes from off the pace. There's Hever Golf Rose. Late betting before we join Peter O'Sullivan.
Anabar now 10-3 on. That's 3 if you place 10 to win. 7.5 to 1 easy option. 8.6 to 1 Hever Golf Rose. 12.2 to 1 evening performance. 13.7 Struggler. 14.2 Christina. Then it's 23.6 to 1 Carmen Lake. 37.4 to 1 Don't Worry Me. 52.9 I Locked, and Rambling Bear 57 to 1.
Down there at the start, just over half a mile from the stands, and these 10 runners still to be joined by the higher numbers. We see Struggler, Easy Option, Rambling Bear and Carmine Lake are in. Don't Worry Me, an evening performance to go. That's evening performance in. That's I Lock towards the right of the picture, the Irish challenger. Looking at them from the rear. As Hever Golf Rose, last year's winner, goes up under Pat Edery. Pat, who won this in '82 on Charpeau and also on Double Schwartz. And this is Rambling Bear and Ray Cochrane. And the next in will be Don't Worry Me, Alain Jonc. Another of the French train runners, Guy Henriot, and there goes Anabar under Freddie Head, bidding for his 3rd Prix de l'Abbé triumph. And his stable companion to go now. This is Christina, the 3-year-old grey filly by Mezwecki. She's to go in between Hever Golf Rose and I Locked. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs up the straight. This Prix de l'Abbé de Longchamp, featuring winners of 58 races, and Rambling Bear has burst out of the stall. Rambling Bear is always a little bit keen up before a start, usually goes down on his own. He went down solo this time. Instead of going earlier, he went down sometime after the others. Obviously felt that he wanted to get on with the job, and they rather cleverly released his stall when he became very agitated, so that he didn't come to any harm. And he's been neatly pulled up by Ray Cochrane, a good, really good horseman. Ray, he's ridden plenty of winners over hurdles as well as on the level, of course. And he's just he's got this fella nice and calm. This 3-year-old by Sherwood out of Supreme Rose, winner of 5 of his 13 races, and he's jogging back to join the others, and doesn't look as though he will have done his chances any harm at all. Usually challenges from behind. He's facing up to the stall again, and remarkably relaxed after that experience. And when he's in, there'll be a wave. That's it. And they're running. And on the near side, showing very good speed, evening performance, and it's evening performance in the early stages. I Locked is well up there too. Then on the near side, just in behind them, is Don't Worry Me, and Hever Golf Rose is right there too. And Anabar is towards the outside. That's the nearest to us, and traveling smoothly in about 6th place under Freddie Head, with evening performance, the one that's showing the foot over on the far side, one from the far side. Then nearest to us, I Locked. Under pressure already is Hever Golf Rose, and Anabar is under pressure too, being chased along by Freddie Head as they come down to the 2-furlong marker, and it's Anabar now has gone to the front from Christina. Anabar from her younger stable companion, Anabar from Christina as they come to the line. It's Anabar and Christina's getting up, and Christina's going to win it. Christina's won it from Anabar. A fantastic finish that for the Head family, with Christina getting up to beat Anabar with, in third place, Hever Golf Rose, last year's winner. So an amazing result for Cricket Head. This Christina has become the first French-trained winner of the Prix de l'Abbé de Longchamp for 18 years, but it wasn't the odds-on favourite, Anabar. Christina having come to catch Anabar in the dying stages. Here she is on the near side, catching Anabar over on the far side. Hever Golf Rose back in third. Easy Option is fourth. And a great flourish of triumph from Olivier Deleuze after winning the 6th race out of her 14 on this filly, Christina.
Wow, what a sensational start to Arc Day, with a Cricket Head 1-2, but a 1-2 very much the wrong way round, but a triumphant ride for Olivier Deleuze, the filly beating the great colt Anabar. But from the start, Anabar wasn't too quick to jump, right on the outside of the field there, as you see. A little bit outpaced in the early stages of the race, and the early pace made as expected by Evening Performance in the centre. I locked with the noseband right up there, and also Rambling Bear in the pink sleeves. That jumped pretty well, whereas Freddie just a little way off the pace on the white outside.
Yes, Anabar on the extreme left here with the black sleeves and cap, and he took a little bit of time to get him balanced, Anabar, but I thought inside the final furlong that he looked like he was going to pick them up. He did, but of course we've got to watch for Christina. Now Christina is tucked in behind there, second from the left in the white sleeves and cap. You can just see the colours of Olivier Deleuze there in behind, and tracking at this stage the one in the black and red, which is Hever Golf Rose. Coming up now towards the final 2 furlongs, Evening Performance it is in the lilac and white striped sleeves there, second from the right. In front, that's Rambling Bear on the right, and Hever Golf Rose battling away. Anabar is second from the left and starting to run on pretty well.
And Strutler's run a terrific race right there on the rails with the pink colours. The 2-year-olds beaten there, Carmine City. But this is where Freddie asks Anabar to go and win his race, and the great roar came up from the crowd, only for it to die in the throats of the Anabar supporters, because the last challenger of all was the successful one, Olivier Deleuze on Christina, who gets up in the last 3 strides and shows his joy a la Frankie Dettori, because Christina and Olivier have won the Prix de l'Abbé.
He's just gone in. Zagreb very much on his toes, been absent obviously for quite a while, and he was very, very fresh going to post. He goes up to his stall now, due into stall number 3. And that's it, and they're away, and Le Destin was slowly away. Pentar was a little bit slowly away too, and Classic Cliché and Frankie Dettori have gone to the front of the far side, with Helicio right up there, and Helicio's now taking it up. It's Helicio, the leader, from on the outside, Bill Sudsky, just in behind them, Sharmid in third place, Zagreb is fourth, just in behind them, Leonilla. Then on the outside is Frankie on Classic Cliché. He's dropped back to about 6th place now. The back markers are Tamore and Le Destin, and Pentar has only got 3 behind him, and apart from Le Destin, Tamore, those are Polaris Flight, but they're racing uphill now, and as they do so, it's Helicio over on the far side from Pilsudski. Then moving into third, nearest to us is Classic Cliché, Zagreb over on the far side, followed by Leonilla. Then comes Sharmit, and then Darazari on the outside. On the inside is Radavor. Helicio towards the left of the picture as we see them now from Pilsudski. Towards the right is Classic Cliché. Just in behind them, Dazari. Then over on the far rail, Zagreb travelling well, and also Leonilla travelling very well too. They're beginning the run downhill now, a long run towards the home turn, and still Helicio, who's made virtually all the running so far, from Pilsudski in second. Then Leonilla on the inside, Zagreb on the rail. Oscar Schindler's making a little bit of progress now. Then Classic Cliché towards the outside. They're running down towards the turn. And as they do so, it's still Helicio, the French-trained favourite from Zagreb on the inside. Towards the outer is Classic Cliché with Pilsudski, Leonilla just in behind him. Radivor still well in the picture. Pentar is stuck on the fence and trying to make progress on the inside. Darazar is making progress on the outside. Coming down into the straight now, well into the straight, it's Alicio, the leader from Pilsudski in second, then comes Leonilov and then Zagreb on the outside. There's Darazari making good run, and here comes Sharmit with a run too, and a faller there is Polaris Flight, but it's Alicio clear. Alicio has got absolutely clear of his field. Olivier Pellier is going to win his first Arc de Triomphe. Alicio getting a terrific roar from the crowd. He's going to win this in tremendous style. Pilsudski being challenged for the minor places, but he just holds it, maybe, from Oscar Schindler. Oscar Schindler and Pilsudski in a photo for second and third, and just behind them came Swain and Luna Wells, and then Le Destin, who was slowly away. And I'm looking down now to see if John Reed is all right. He had a horrific fall on Polaris Flight, who, sad to say, has broken a leg about a quarter of a mile out. So, the result of the 1996 Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. First, number 14, Alicio, owned by Enrique Sarasola, trained by Elie Lelouch, 44-year-old Tunisian-born rider of 170 winners himself. Second, well, it's a photo. The judge has called for a photo, quite understandably. It's a photo between Pilsudski, ran a great race up there in the van all the time, number 5, owned by Lord Weinstock, trained by Michael Stout and ridden by Walter Swinburne. And here they come to the line, and Pilsudski's just held Oscar Schindler, who's third, Swain was fourth. So third, without any doubt, under a great run, Oscar Schindler, owned by Ollie Lahan, trained by Kevin Prendergast, and ridden by Cash Asmussen, with number 1, Swain, ridden by Thierry Janet, fourth. But what a triumph by this son of Fairy King, by Elise out of Sloopy. Helicio, winner now of 6 of his 7 races, should be 7 out of 7. Just the one that got away was the French Derby, when he ran a bit too free. Great run by Pilsudski, and a fine run by Oscar Schindler, running on really strongly at the death. Not too far behind the placed horses was Sharmit, the English Derby winner, but this is some horse, and a great moment for Olivier Pellier, 25 years old, his 4th ride in the race. He's the champion-elect of France, and what a thrill for him. John Reed has to be stretcher-borne back, but he did push the blanket away as though he felt that he was perhaps not too serious a case.
What a triumph for Olivier Pellier, the champion jockey-elect in France. His first Arc triumph for Elicio, a 6th success from 7 races. His only
all shapes and sizes. Quite a number to look forward to, and there you are. Triple co-favourites, Cahal, Bahamian Bounty and Desert King. Will it be one of them? A couple more left to go in. Here's Graham.
Early pace in the race can come from Air Express, that has made the running in the past. The striped cap of Richard Hill is prominent on the giant Cahal. There's the red and blue striped cap at Air Express. Kick away then for the Group 1 Dewhurst Stakes, and early on it's Cahal that's pulling his way to the front, with Air Express the far side, these 1 and 2. Then we've got Musical Pursuit the far side, the red cap number 4 in command, just in front of Bahamian Bounty, then the West and Wind Cheetah as they go through the first quarter mile. It's Cahal. Moving up on the far side, Musical Pursuit. These two share the work. Air Express sits third, then in command running 4, followed by Bahamian Bounty in 5. Then we've got Desert King shielded in this camera angle on the far side of the track, and the West towards the back, but it's Musical Pursuit leading. Striped cap is Cahal. These sit 1 and 2, and they're past halfway in the center of the track. Red cap in command. The far side is Air Express. The blue cap Bahamian Bounty, the green colours. Why, that was the west, and then we have Wind Cheetah at the back, and Desert King is going to come in the orange and blue stripe cap, the far side, down towards the 2 marker. It's getting serious now, and it's Cahal that just has the edge. Cahal and in command, Bohemian Bounty covered up. Musical Pursuit is plugging on gamely. Then comes Air Express. Desert King will find it difficult to win from there. The west drops away. Wind Cheetah is last, but it's In Command in the lead now. In Command and Cahal, and behind these comes Air Express on the outside, but they're finishing in a heap here. It's going to be In Command and Musical Pursuit who share it at the line. In Command, Musical Pursuit, Air Express the 1, 2, 3. Then Bohemian Bounty, Cahal, followed by Desert King, and the field trail back to the west, who was probably last. And so the result of this, the Dewhurst Stakes, it's a Group 1 race, a 10-to-1 chance. In Command has won. Well done to Maktoum Al Maktoum, trainer Barry Hills and Michael Hills for landing this Group 1 race, but the proximity of all of them suggests to me, and probably to you, the form may not amount to much. Second horse home was number 6, Musical Pursuit, grand stepping up in class, well ridden by Pat Edery for Mark Tompkins and Benny Schmidt-Modner. That's the horse on the extreme left. The winner is in the bright red cap there. As the whip's flailing up towards the line, but there's our winner, number 4, In Command. Second horse is Musical Pursuit, and the third horse home, why, that's the rank outside in number 1, Air Express and Brett Doyle.
In Command, a 12-to-1 chance, and the officers this morning has returned 10-to-1.
At the favourites, and look absolutely spot on. Looks almost like a show horse. Halling going down towards the start, and now Evans. Big Mac was saying on the morning line he could get Levels You Devils Evans, and that could be a good prize. But what about the big second favourite, Bosra Sham? She's going down looking really well. Both, of course, know this track very well indeed. They both do plenty of work on the watered gallop, which is on the cones on the far side. So the 2 market leaders, the big confrontation, Bosra Sham, Henry Cecil, Halling, Saeed Bin Sarur. Who will win to become champion trainer of 1996? Before we join them down at the start, let's have a full betting show from Leslie Graham.
And Halling now still the even money favourite. Bosra Sham steady on 9-4. Timarida 15-2. And Even Top and First Island both on the drift out to 14-1. Glory of Dancer, well, they've taken the 40s. He's now back into 33-1.
Well, John's eye was caught irresistibly by First Island, and I must say I quite agree with him. He looks better than he's ever looked when we've seen him before this season. Bosra Sham impressed Graham most going down, and in the betting ring, Halling is attracting most support, and Timarida's not.
And Roy Christie is just calling 11-10, asking for 11-10 against Halling, but generally the price is evens, and one tic-tac has been showing bits of 11-10, and that has been taken. Very tight, top of the head, 9-4 against Bosra Sham, with 15-2, and in places 8-1 the Irish filly Timarida, 14-1 First Island, an even top, and into double carpet 33-1 Glory of Dancer. But 43 favourites in 95 runnings this century have won the Champion Stakes. Only 4 since Giacometti in 1974. And Halling, who won the Coral Eclipse, well, 13 winners of the Coral Eclipse in the same year have won the Champion Stakes, and 3 York International winners have won the Champion Stakes. Bosra Sham, the 1,000 guineas winner, 8 fillies have won the 1,000 guineas, have won the Champion Stakes. 4 did it as 3-year-olds. The last to complete that double was Hula Dancer in 1963, and for Timarida, Ireland have won this 5 times. But tips the very best price, even money, Halling.
Stalls centred for this race, the Dubai Champion Stakes. Group 1 status and over £200,000 in added prize money. But Frank Editori elected to take this horse Halling down on the stand side. Let's see how they come back. They kick away, and where does the pace come from? And it's Even Top that's going into the lead. Richard Quinn takes the initiative here, to Halling sitting second, and then Timarida in third, Bosra Sham in front of First Island, and Glory of Dancer just the back marker. But it's Even Top that does the work here. Gives the lead to Halling in second, sitting third. The green jacket is Timarida. Johnny Murder rides. Bosra Sham is settled 4. And then behind those we have First Island, and the back marker is Glory of Dancer. So our leader, and they're tacking over towards the stand side now, and it's Even Top that has the edge. Here goes Even Top into the lead, and he stride out well. A couple of lengths back then we find Halling sitting in second place. There goes Halling into second. Frankie Dettori equally well poised. Timarita is third. She finishes well. Boswasham is in fourth. Then we have First Island, and Glory of Dancer is the back marker. But it's still even top that has the edge. And they come down past the 6 furlong marker to the 5, and they're halfway in the Dubai Champion Stakes. And it's even top, the leader. Halling sitting in second. They're 1 and 2. Then in third place now, we have Timarita still. Boswasham with the white sleeves on the outside. Then First Island, and then Glory of Dancer, Olivier Pellier, 6 of the 6. They come down past the 4 furlong marker, and it's still even top that has it. Even top to Halling in second. Timarita still pulling hard in third. Then Boswasham just being nudged along. Then comes First Island. Halling now lengthens his stride, and even top left maroon next to the stands rail as Halling goes to home. Boswasham and Timarita are after him. They come down past the bushes. 2 furlongs to go in the Dubai Champion Stakes, and the action is down the centre of the track, and it's Halling in blue. White sleeves, Boswasham, and Boswasham takes command. They race down into the dip. It's Boswasham going on from Halling. Here comes Timarita inside the final furlong, and Boswasham, Halling in second place, then Timarita in third. But hail a champion filly, it's Boswasham. She's taken Halling up towards the line. Boswasham wins it at the post. Boswasham, Palinary looks round. Halling second, Timarita third, even top 4, and tight for 5 between the back 2, which were Glory of Dancer and First Island. And so the result of a most memorable Dubai Champion Stakes. It's a win for number 6, Boswasham, in the colours of Wafik Side, trained here at Newmarket by Henry Cecil, and that surely means that he's the champion trainer of the year, with Boswasham at 9-4. Pat Eddery's 179th winner of the season, and what a superb filly she is. Second horse home was number 2, Halling, in the colours of Godolphin. Saeed bin Saror trains, Frankie Dettori rides. Third horse home is number 3, Timarita, Johnny Murtagh, in the colours of the Aga Khan. But this is the winner. This is Boswasham, and this is a true champion, and that's a happy jockey.
Well, it was set up as one of the races of the season, and it didn't disappoint us at all. The gallop was set, the donkey work was cut out by Even Top. Be interested to see where there's a steward's inquiry called, because they certainly got a bit close together, Boswasham, Timarita and Halling. But the gesture there from Pat Eddery shows you just how much winning this race meant. It's almost certainly settled the Trainers' Championship, and I thought when she won the Guineas it was an amazing training performance. She'd had so much trouble after winning the Fred Darling, and Pat Eddery assured of his 11th jockey's title, and this is just a great way to cap the season.
I shouldn't think many winners have given him more pleasure for a very, very long time. A wonderful performance by the trainer and by his staff.
Mr. and Mrs. Henry Cecil getting a big cheer. The crowd acknowledging a fine training feat. Henry. Oh, look at this. Congratulations, that was quite a welcome.
Same way, isn't it?
Very emotional.
Yeah. I haven't got my breath there yet.
Are there some tears coming there?
No, nearly.
Nearly. Well, she did it for you, didn't she?
It was lovely, wasn't it? Lovely.
It was. What was that like watching it? Where did you watch it from, Henry?
I watched it with Natty on the stands.
Yes, yes. And the past few days, you must have had a few sleepless nights, yeah?
Sure hell.
Sure hell.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I know it's an emotional moment for you. Congratulations.
Well, let's have a look at that again now. Timarita just trying to poke through. Hard to say whether there was room for or not from that angle. Halling just going over to his right. I don't think Boswasham went anywhere at all. All she did was go forward, put her head down. A really gutsy performance this. Remember, in the Guineas she'd had to cut out all of her donkey work, and this afternoon she's had a good lead all the way through. And Henry Cecil was telling us yesterday that she'd improved since her run behind Mark of Esteem, and a tremendous reception, beginning almost before she got off of the course. And
Can't be one book, but he's won his last two and he's on a roll with a big price. And Kieran Gall on Strong Promise. Only a novice, only 5 years old and way out of the handicap, but he's all promise.
And Lace is betting on this Murphy's Gold Cup. Joint favourites, Big Matt and Addington Boy, both at 5 to 1. At 6 to 1, now gone 13 to 2, Challenger Du Luck. Also 13 to 2, Dublin Flyer. At 15 to 2 is Kibreed from 8 to 1. On 10s then, Easthorpe and Anabatic. Absalom's Lady out to 11 to 1 from 10 to 1. On 14s, Barton Bank. 16 to 1, Strong Promise. At 20 to 1 from 25, Strong Medicine. And Bavardier is the outsider at 33 to 1.
Cheltenham's Ed Gillespie has been worried about the going and the small fields, but he needn't be worried about the crowd that the Murphy's Gold Cup has attracted. It's as open and competitive a 2.5 mile steeplechase as you could ask for, and from the moment the doors opened, you could see that there was going to be a really big, eager crowd, eager to enjoy the excitement and the special atmosphere of Cheltenham. Cramming the rails. No television for them. Let's see the principal hope of Ireland, Anabatic. There he is. Well, any horse who can beat Sound Man, even getting nearly 2 stone, must be reckoned with, because we've seen Sound Man on this course show himself one of the best chasers in the business. Anabatic has won 2 this season and will be seriously fancied.
A chance of a big race double for Gordon Richards via Addington Boy, who really, of the 12 horses, he's the one who's slightly disappointed. I thought that he looked plenty light enough. Having said that, he'll probably go and bolt up, mount of Brian Harding. And it's just a question of whether he's going to be able to stay close enough throughout the race to be in a reasonable position to use his undoubted stamina. Ran over 2.5 miles in the early part of last season, and on softer ground has done well over this trip, but they're going to go a real fast gallop here, and it's just a question of whether he's going to be slightly outpaced. Barton Banks, another horse who's dropping back in distance, a former King George winner. Disappointed in the race last year when it was won at Sandown, but he was interesting at Wetherby last time out. It's the first time I've seen this horse look really happy in himself. He looked comfortable, jumping, which is something that you can't say of him in the past. David Nicholson's horses are in really good form, and if one man is the horse that everybody thinks he is, this horse got within 7 lengths of him. And I don't think the trip's going to be a problem to him, John.
No, nor do I. I think the fences are the problem. If he can just put in a clear round and be happy with his jumping, he'd certainly take all the beating. Don't forget how he was winning the King George, trotting up in the King George when he had that disaster at the last fence at Kempton.
Well, he's bowling along. One who's going to be just tracking them is Challenger Du Luck. Good winner here at the festival. He's a horse with stacks of ability. He's been backed for some time now for this race, and he's bound to lack nothing in fitness.
Just outfought by Addington Boy, wasn't he? But of course that this shorter distance may,
I think, could be a very exciting finish here if you get this horse Challenger Du Luck come into the last as you expect him to, coming from off the pace along with Absalom's Lady, ridden by David Bridgewater, who's been on board Challenger Du Luck in most of his wins. That's not beyond the realms of possibility. But Alistair's got news of the betting.
Well, the battle to be favourite for the Murphy's Gold Cup continues to rage unabated down here. Big Matt and Addington Boy still 5-1 joints, but Addington Boy, there's bits of 9-2 about, and Ladbrokes, who said that they let the punters decide, look like making the market's mind up for it. They've been backing Addington Boy, and that's why the big 5-2 is looking weak, and it's looking more like 9-2 at the moment. There's still 5s about. 13-2 Challenger Du Lac and Dublin Flyer, 8's Cabrit, 10 bar those 5, and it's a tight battle for favouritism. It looks like Addington Boy's going to nose it.
Dublin Flyer was just about the winner when it came to picking the eye catchers for a Strong Promise on the way to post, and Addington Boy. And really, you can make a case for everything here. Absalom's Lady, I just hope that David Bridgewater, he's ridden her once now at Exeter, keeps her settled in. He did that at Exeter, and then really probably she just got there plenty soon enough. I just think that she idles when she gets to the front. I've got actually no worries about her jumping. I think she's clever enough. I think providing
I've never seen her look better, John.
No, she looks wonderful. You've really got to hand it to Gay Kellaway. Been training really well, but this is a tremendous race. For me, as I said, I'd just give the nod to Dublin Flyer. For you, Oaks?
Well, I think I'm so taken by Absalom's Lady's looks that I just hope everything goes right for her. But I'm really a Dublin Flyer man too.
Let's have a last look at the bet-in. Big Matt 9-2, 5-1 Addington Boy, 2 on 13-2 Challenger Du Lac and Dublin Flyer. Just one word of caution when they turn into the straight for the first time after jumping these first 3 fences. The ground's been a little bit greasy, and Graham, let's hope they all keep their feet.
Yes, indeed, that's going to be the principal factor here in this Grade 3 Murphy's Gold Cup. £60,000 in prize money, lining up 15 fences to jump.
Wait, there's still a big one mean girl. Take a turn. Take a turn, get back. Get back.
Starter Bill Rees telling them to take a turn. Challenger to look at the back, so to Absalom's Lady, and a Batic taking a turn.
Now stay where you are. Stay where you are. You're all right? Come on!
Race away then for the Murphy's Gold Cup, and on the run of the first, the pace fast and furious. Dublin Flyer and Easthorpe with the pace, and on the outside Barton Bank as they come to take the first, which the leaders clear safely. All safely over the first. Challenger Look and Absalom's Lady, the back two, come quickly down towards the second. On the right is Dublin Flyer, Easthorpe and Barton Bank are the 1, 2 and 3. Strong Promise racing 4, Cabrit in 5, they're all over the second. Then we have Big Matt on the inside, followed by Addington Boy, and then comes Anna Batic with Strong Medicine, followed by Challenger to Look and Bavardieu. Absalom's Lady, the back marker as they take the third, and the leaders skip over it safely. And they're all safely over the third. Absalom's Lady detached from the front end by about 25 lengths. The pace really is very fast indeed. And it's Dublin Flyer that's gained the edge to Barton Bank. And so it's Dublin Flyer and Barton Bank 1 and 2. And sitting in third is the novice Strong Promise. A gap of 4 or 5 lengths then to Easthorpe, who's on the inside of Cabrit as they start the turn in by the 2-mile start. Addington Boy sits midfield. Strong Medicine is just behind him, and just behind that one is Absalom's Lady. This is fence number 4, and the leaders are safely over, and they stream over the 4th. Absalom's Lady and Bavardieu, the back markers down. Quickly towards the 5th, and it's Dublin Flyer leading. To Barton Bank in second, and then Strong Promise in third, and Easthorpe 4th, and they're all jumping well. Cabrit the outside of Big Matt, 5 and 6. Addington Boy is with those, and then comes Anna Batic, followed by Strong Medicine, and after Strong Medicine we have Absalom's Lady and Challenger to Look, and the back marker is Bavardieu. Come down towards fence number 6. This will be the last next time round, and it's Dublin Flyer who leads. Dublin Flyer to Barton Bank and Strong Promise and Easthorpe and Addington Boy and Cabrit and Big Matt and Strong Medicine. Then we have Anna Batic and Challenger to Look and Bavardieu and Absalom's Lady, who jumped that one well. They swing away in front of the stands and down towards fence number 7, the plain fence. They only jumped 2 open ditches in a Murphy's, and it's a Dublin Flyer. Won the race last year from the front to Barton Bank in second. And then we've got Strong Promise in third, and Easthorpe 4th, and Addington Boy and Cabrit, and then comes Big Matt, followed by Strong Medicine, and then Anna Batic and Challenger to Look and Absalom's Lady and Bavardieu. away from the stands then, and it's Dublin Fly who leads, 2 Barton Bank. The cards being dealt very much as we anticipated. Strong Promise way out of the handicap, but is sitting in 3rd place and keeping tabs on these top-class chasers as he takes fence number 8 in 3rd place. Absalom's Lady is towards the back. Bavardieu is the back marker. Challenger Deluxe starting to get a little bit closer now as they go to the water jump for the only time. And it's Dublin Flyer, 2 Barton Bank, and then Strong Promise and Easthorpe, Addington Boy, and behind these comes Anabatic and Kibrit and Challenger to Look and Big Matt, and then Strong Medicine. But it's still Dublin Fly who leads as they go to the first of the ditches, and he's over safely. Easthorpe not as quickly as some of them. Challenger to Look still making ground. Going to be pulled wide now by Richard Dunwoody as they go down towards fence number 11, at which it's Dublin Fly who led. Dublin Fly in the lead. Absalom's Lady is the only one a little bit detached. Look at that Addington Boy whizzing through on the inside there. Swing left-handed uphill to the last open ditch. And it's Dublin Fly who has it. Dublin Fly, Barton Bank and Strong Promise, the 1, 2 and 3. Addington Boy close enough 4. Wide on the course now sits Anabatic, followed by Challenger to Look, and then comes Kibrit, followed by Strong Medicine. Easthorpe being pushed along. Big Map placed last year, but comes under the pressure there. And Dublin Fly has slipped on the bend. Dublin Fly is down. The horse seems to be okay. This is Strong Promise, who's been left in the lead as they go down to the top of the hill, down towards the 3rd last. And it's Strong Promise in the lead. Barton Bank, Addington Boy the inside. With the white sleeves, Anabatic is playing a very quiet race. Absalom's Lady is out the back and could well be pulled up, but running very wide. Taken there probably by the loose horse. That's Dublin Fly, so unlucky. Here we are, 3 out, and it's Strong Promise into the lead to Addington Boy and Barton Bank 1 and 2. Absalom's Lady has been pulled up. Anabatic still sitting there sweetly. Challenger to Look is not out of it. Big Matt has been responding well as they come down towards the hill. This is a 2 out, this in the Murphys, and at it, any one of 6 with chance. It is just the novice, Strong Promise in the lead to Barton Bank. He's absolutely cruising on Challenger to Look the outside. Addington Boy looks a room. Anabatic finds none, and as they make the final turn, it's Strong Promise. Here comes Challenger to Look the outside. One more fence to jump in the Murphys, and it's Challenger to Look and Strong Promise head-to-head down towards the final fence. Back in 3rd is Anabatic. They're at the last now. Challenger to Look and Strong Promise. 2 Addington Boy staying on well. Then comes Anabatic as they race up towards the line. It's Challenger to Look heading into a lead, but Strong Promise is fighting back, and Strong Promise has come to take Challenger to Look, but at the line it's going to be close. It's a photo. Challenger to Look, Strong Promise to Addington Boy. Then came Anabatic clear of Barton Bank, and then came Easthorpe, followed by Strong Medicine, who beat Bavardieu and Big Matt and Kibrit, who was last of all. And so the outcome of this, the Murphys Gold Cup. What an absolute thriller this was, this Grade 3 race. Between nearest to us, his head down, number 7, Challenger to Look in the colours of Mr. D. Johnson, trained by Martin Piper and ridden by Richard Dunwoody. On the far side is Strong Promise in the colours of owner-trainer Jeff Hubbard, ridden by Kieran Gall. It's very much on the nod, this, and they're clear of Addington Boy in 3rd place. But I can't help feeling that Dublin Flyer was so unlucky to slip up at the top of the hill. But well done to Richard Dunwoody. If he's prevailed, he's looking up at the big screen to view the freeze frame. He's unsure. Has he won it, or has Kieran Gall won it on the novice Strong Promise? There is the evidence, and Richard's actually not in the position to be able to see it at the moment. Head down, Challenger to Look. Far side, white sleeves, Strong Promise, clear of Addington Boy in 3rd.
Kieran. Well, what a tremendous finish there. And he's just been called the winner, number 7, Challenger to Look. And just touching his heart there, thought that maybe he'd come a fraction too soon, Richard Dunwoody. And the champion trainer, Martin Pipe. Tremendous performance to get this horse ready to win first time up. But a wonderful performance from the second, 2, Strong Promise. Still a novice, only just beaten by a whisker. Really tremendous race. The first year this has been run under the Murphys banner, and a popular win. There's been money for him for the last 10 days. Martin Pipe's son David there, and some really good owners there. David Johnson's had horses for a long time. Chester Barnes, just being told how He had to wait and wait by Richard Dunwoody. And I can't help thinking that if I backed Addington Boy, I'd have been really hard, or felt hard done by, because that horse did incredibly well to stand up. Dublin Flyer lost his feet. Really unfortunate thing to happen. He's so game, this horse. This is the last thing that he deserved. Just turning round for home now. Just lost his back end. Brendan Powell lucky not to be injured by the hooves of Addington Boy. But now, as the race unfolds, just have a look at Addington Boy when they turn round the last bend, because he's got every chance here. He's been given a wonderful ride by Brian Harding. They've been tracking Strong Promise now. Barton Bank, who barely made a mistake this afternoon on the outside of Strong Promise. Just look over, probably only 2 lengths behind now, Challenger to look. A couple of those, Easthorpe and Crabtree, they've already shot their bolts. They're not really going to be in contention. Kieran Gould just pulls his whip through into his right hand. This horse still plenty of running in front of him, just wants to get over this fence in there with a chance. They're queuing up behind there. Anabatic there, still close enough. But now just watch Addington Boy now. He's just beginning to come under pressure, comes round here on this bend, and following there, you saw him lose his back end completely at that point. And considering he ran on to be within 3 or 4 lengths, particularly good effort. But Richard Dunwoody must have just been holding his breath at this point, John. Had he come too soon?
Yes, it was, as it turned out, a beautifully timed challenge, but it might have been wrong by about 6 inches, because the novice Strong Promise, and for heaven's sake, let's give him credit, really incredible performance for a horse with his inexperience over fences, and a wonderful confirmation of his owner-trainer Jeff Hubbard's boldness.
Grange Break, he's a character who I never get right. David Walsh puts a pound overweight up at 9 stone 12. Can't quite claim his 3 pounds there. But this is a horse that Skew would know far better than me. What sort of mood's he in now, Skew?
Yeah, just watching him walk around the pre-parade ring. He looked very relaxed and happy in himself. I was pleased to see him like that. But as you say, he's a character. Disappointed last time out up at Newcastle, didn't jump as well as he can. But let's hope he, well, from my point of view, let's hope he goes and jumps well today. He's having a fucking kick here. He looks well in himself.
Right, well, we can look at them in more depth now, Skew. Well, 7 General Crack. He used to be a bit of an iffy jumper, didn't he?
Yeah, we saw this horseman on the television at Chepstow. I thought he put up an exceptional performance that day. Then he went to Kempton and just hung on to win by a neck. I mean, on that form, he wouldn't be good enough. But you can't do any more than win. And he's quite entitled to take his chance today. But immediately when you look at this race, you think the Grey Monk looks uncertainty. When you look deeper into the form, it is a very competitive race, and there's, you wouldn't be surprised if something like the General Crack did go and win. You look back to that Chepstow form and say, he was very impressive that day.
Yep, nearest to us is Philip Gale on the near side of him. He's from Ireland, from Arthur Moore's yard. Good staying chase to Skew, but I just said in the parade I thought 10-11, he's got plenty of weight there.
Yes, I mean, Arthur Moore, who trains Feathered Gale, that's the other horse we've just been looking at, that's General Crack, but Feathered Gale hopefully will be on our screen in this session.
Just behind, let's stay with that, because there's Los Dragoni, who is a fascinating horse. Again, another one, it shows you how difficult it is, who went wrong just before the Martell National, was a big fancy, but Charlie's won on this horse at Haydock Park.
Yes, and this is a similar track to Haydock Park. Big fences, left-handed track. Would he want a little bit softer ground? Yes, perhaps you would. He's a course winner here. He's a very good horse. Horses that go and finish placed in this race, like Hardy Politics, go on and win a national.
Yeah, and he goes well fresh. He's won the last 3 seasons first of the bag, so good on him. But there are plenty more of interest. Now, couldn't be better. He won last year, but he's gone up in the weights. He's 11-10. He used to break blood vessels, but he seems to have settled down now.
Yes, Charlie Brooks, who trains him, sent him to Italy last winter just to get him ready for the Gold Cup, in which he finished distant 3rd. I watched his reappearance at Haydock. Never really travelling very well behind unguided method to do it. He looked big in the paddock that day at Haydock. He looks spot on today. I mean, obviously that was his prep race. This is the race they're trying to get him ready for. But again, perhaps he would like softer ground.
Lovely horse. Challenging look going.
There is the horse I was trying to talk about, Feathered Gale. What I was trying to say is that Arthur Moore doesn't send horses over here for his health, and he was very bullish about his chances in the Irish National on the good ground, and he came up and he won. He then went to Sandown, and perhaps that was a race too far that season. He's had his one prep race, he finished second, and I would be far from surprised to see this horse win 14 to 1 from 12 to 1.
Well, not all the goggles down yet. Here is 10 Old Bridge of Andy Tunnell's. As I posed the question earlier, skew the trip, that's what worries me about him. But we don't know, you see, until he tries.
No, I mean, some horses, you step this horse up in trip, he might go and appreciate it. He has won around Cheltenham, so that's a stiff 2.5 mile round Cheltenham. He won at the festival, trained by Simon McNeill. He's nearly as old as you and I, Simon. He had a treble, he's still I keep saying what a good trainer Andy Tunnell is. His horse he's an old-fashioned type of trainer in that his horse is always puts a lot of steady work in them, gets very muscular across the top again. This horse looks really well in the paddock.
But the big question here is this a Gold Cup horse? If he is, that of course is a level weight contest. Here it's a handicap at the Grey Monkey, 10 stone 3. He's a magnificent specimen. He's unbeaten in 7 chases so far. He looks brilliant. He was given the best turned out award here.
Yes, so it's interesting again when you say, is this a Gold Cup horse or 10-3? But I remember Jadami getting beaten in this race by Simpson Abbey, and it didn't stop him going on with the Gold Cup that year.
No, but he is a strapping horse. It'll be interesting to see how he tackles these fences, because they're so inviting. I think he'll look like a stag over them. He does jump well.
Hasn't Gordon Richards handled him well? He's won a whole string of easy races for him.
Right, jockeys, line up.
A lot of confidence from winning. They're coming into line now. I think Challenger Luck still having his gears altered, but I'll hand you over to Peter.
Winners of 96 races here. Just about to face up to the first of 21 fences for the 40th running of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. And this could be a first time up. 1 or 2 appeals. And that's it, and they're away. Challenger looked just a little bit behind the others, but nothing to it as they come to the first one. Coombe Hill on the near side. Looks as though he's going to land in the lead. Coombe Hill from the Grey Monk and Grange Break and General Crack, and they're all safely over the first, with Coombe Hill the leader. Going up into second, Low Stragoni. Then comes the Grey Monk and Grange Break, and on the inside, Old Bridge, between horses, Feathered Gale, General Crack, and Midnight Caller. The backmarker Challenger de Luc over the third, and Coombe Hill lands in the lead from Low Stragoni, all safely over the third. Then the Grey Monk, Grange Break on the outside, Old Bridge on the inner, and then Feathered Gale and General Crack just in behind them. Behind General Crack is Midnight Caller. And then Dexter Darwin couldn't be better, and finally Challenger de Luc. Coming to the fifth now, Coombe Hill and Jamie Osborne. Jumping clear of Low Stragoni in second. Just in behind them, the Grey Monk and Grange Break nearest to us. Close up now of Coombe Hill, this former pointer from Low Stragoni in second. Then comes Grange Break and the Grey Monk as they swing left-handed and make their way towards the cross fence. Just in behind the lead, General Crack and Old Bridge, and then comes Dexter Dove and Feathered Gale. Challenger de Luc is still quite some way last now as they jump the sixth. Coombe Hill still, but Grange Break going up on the outside. The bottom weight, Low Stragoni, very close to the pace. Right over on the far rail is Coombe Hill, who's been overtaken now by Low Stragoni, and on the near side, Grange Break, these two. Then comes the Grey Monk and General Crack as they come to the first in the straight now. Another plain fence, number 7 before the next open ditch. Low Stragoni lands in the lead. From Grange Break in second, the Grey Monk travelling powerfully in third. Over on the far side, Coombe Hill. This is the second of the ditches now. Low Stragoni over on the far side lands in the lead from Grange Break, little between the two. They're all safely over it. The Grey Monk is in third. Coombe Hill is in fourth. Feathered Gale for Allen 5 just in behind him. Over the next, Low Stragoni and Grange Break. Grange Break, in fact, landed just in the lead. Still last is Challenger de Luc. Grange Break second, Low Stragoni disputing it from the Grey Monk as they come down to number 10 of the 21 fences. This will be the last next time round. Grange Break landed in the lead. From Low Stragoni on the far side, running partly on the near side, the Grey Monk. Then comes Coombe Hill. Then Old Bridge and General Crack and Feathered Gale and Dexter Dove and Couldn't Be Better, last year's winner. Then Midnight Caller and finally Challenger Do Look. Over the water it was Grange Break who landed in the lead. From Coombe Hill, who's gone back into second. Low Stragoni on the inside, little between these three. Grey Monk sitting there quietly stalking those three leaders. In fourth place, Tony Dobbin, as they swing left-handed to go out into the country in this 40th running of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. And as they race towards the next fence, Coombe Hill is back with a fraction advantage from Low Stragoni in second, coming to the 12th. Then comes Grange Break, Old Bridge on the inside, the Grey Monk on the far side, then General Crack, then Feathered Gale, Dexter Dove, Couldn't Be Better, Challenger To Look is still the back marker, but there's not more than 8 lengths between first and last over the third ditch. And there, Low Stragoni made a fractional mistake. It was Grey Monk on the far side with Grange Break. Grange Break on the far side. On the near side, as we see them now, is the Grey Monk. Going back up there to join him is Coombe Hill on the inside. General Crack is just in behind the lead with Old Bridge. And Challenger Do Look has gone at that one. And there it was Coombe Hill and the Grey Monk. Coombe Hill on the inside of the Grey Monk. This is 6 fences from home. Coombe Hill and the Grey Monk pretty well together. 6 out. Coombe Hill on the inside of the Grey Monk. These two with Grange Break in third. General Crack is in 4. They begin to swing left-handed now to make their way towards the cross fence. And as they do so, still up front, Coombe Hill with the Grey Monk. Racing towards the cross fence now. Coombe Hill on the inside of the Grey Monk. General Crack very close to them in third. Low Stragoni also still in contention, and Grange Bridge. The Grey Monk landed in the lead there from Coombe Hill. General Crack, Old Bridge, and Grange Break right up there with them too. They've got 4 left to jump. Midnight Callers making a little bit of ground from the rear. Coming down to the 4th last fence now. And it's the Grey Monk with the advantage. Dexter Dove, the Grey, is coming there towards the stand side. Grange Break is still well in contention. The Grey Monk landed in the lead there from Grange Break in second. Then Low Stragoni and Coombe Hill. These 4 ahead of Dexter Dove and Old Bridge coming to the final ditch. 3 out now. And it's the Grey Monk and Tony Dobbin who land clear of the bottom weight. Grange Break coming down now towards the second last fence, and as they do so, it's the Grey Monk with the advantage. The Grey Monk lands in the lead. Renewing his challenge is Coombe Hill over on the far side. It's Coombe Hill coming to challenge the Grey Monk. Coombe Hill on the far side under Jamie Osborne has taken the advantage as they come down to the final fence. It's Coombe Hill, the leader from the Grey Monk. Coombe Hill last 2 lengths clear. Grange Break is a faller in the last. Low Stragoni is back in third. It's Coombe Hill, this former point-to-point winner, striding away from the Grey Monk as they race up into the closing stages of the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. And Coombe Hill has won it from the Grey Monk in second. Low Stragoni is third. It's going to be very close for fourth, with Midnight Caller just getting up to be fourth ahead of Dexter Dove. Then came Feathered Gale, then last year's winner Couldn't Be Better, and then Old Bridge. And finally General Crack, and those are the only finishers. And so the result of the 1996 Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup is first, number 9, Coombe Hill, owned by Mrs. Jill Dennis, trained by Walter Dennis at Bude in Cornwall, and ridden by Jamie Osborne, sitting on this horse for the very first time in his life. He won it also in 1990 on Arctic Call. Second was number 5, the favourite, the Grey Monk, owned by Mr. Alistair Duff, trained by Gordon Richards and ridden by Tony Dobbin. Third was number 2, Low Stragoni, owned by Mrs. Sylvia Clegg, trained by Tom Tate and ridden by Charlie Swan. And fourth was number 8, Midnight Caller, Owned by Michael and Jerry Worcester, trained by No Chance, and ridden by Mick Fitzgerald. This is the winner, Coombe Hill.
Yes, the story of the race is perhaps, Richard, that they didn't go a great gallop, but didn't Coombe Hill jump beautifully. They're lovely to see a horse in front with his ears pricked. Just early here, you see the horse at the back of your picture is the Grey Monk that goes on to his second. He just makes a resemblance of a mistake there, but up long, just paddles through it, and Tony Dobbin, beautiful horsemanship there, hasn't just let the horse have his head and not pull him about. At the back of the picture there is Challenger Luck, who was really switched off by Norman Williamson to get the trip, but as I said, they're not going very fast early on, and to qualify that, you've got Grange Break still, who sometimes gets under pressure a little bit when they're going a good gallop. He's right up there and jumping well, but look at the Grey Monk here, cantering on the inside. He's still with his ears pricked, is the winner, Coombe Hill. And now at the back of your picture, you can see Challenger Luck coming through the fence sideways. Oh, that is a horrible fall. I hope that they are both all right. I haven't heard any news. We will give it to you as soon as we possibly can.
Well, as they turned for home and came to this last ditch here, the Grey Monk absolutely stood off it. But there is little Grange Break banging contention right on the heels. Look to the right of the picture, it's the eventual winner, Coombe Hill. Losconi just in behind the Grey here. And going well, and the other Grey, Dexter Dovers, put up a marvellous performance, but little Grange Break hanging on marvellously. At this stage, the Grey Monk, it had looked as if he was going to go away and win, and all of a sudden, Oz gives Coombe Hill a smack, and it's electric.
Now, what we talk about the electric, just watch him jump this one. Look again with his ears pricked, beautiful. I mean, that just shows you how well he's going to jump the race lap. But on Grange Break, just getting rid of poor David Walsh after that. But what I was trying to say here is look how he gets his belly close to the ground when he gallops, really extends. That looks a good horse, doesn't he, galloped in the line there.
Absolutely, I must just tell you, Charlie Brooks tried to buy half a share in this horse last night, you know, for 60 grand, I believe the money was, and Walter Dennis refused it. Well, what a bold move to make for, you know, someone who farms for a living to do that. This is the great thing about steeplechasing, that a man from Bude who farms, dairy farmer, can come up here and beat the best of the giant trainers.
And the other story to this is there's Jamie Osmond doing his Frankie Dettori impression, but the other story here is that poor old Jamie got a bit of a slagging last year for his ride on Rough Quest in this race, so funny how history comes around again, he's got a chance of winning. And my commiserations to Jimmy Frost, who's sat at home watching this race with broken ribs, who, if it hadn't been for those ribs, would have been on this horse today.
Well, I should think half the West Country's come up today, because the reception afforded to him coming in then was marvellous, as good as anything you could understand. There is Walter Dennis talking to the jockey, and all their sons there, Mark, Tim and David. It's a real family affair, the Skew. It could not be a better script if you'd written it yourself.
No, fantastic.
So, as the rug gets thrown on a very hot and happy Coombe Hill, let's catch up with the starting prices.
First number 9, Coombe Hill, 11-2. Second number 5, the Grey Monk, 13-8 favourite. Third number 2, Lo Stragone, 10-1.
His running at Weatherby behind one man showed that. But here is the horse who won that race, and the horse who caught our eye. Your eye can't fail to be caught by him in the paddock, not just because he's grey, because he looks so magnificently well. Muscled up, absolutely in the pink. A quick look at the latest betting. 13-8 on one man now. 4's Rough Quest, 6-1 Strong Promise. Mr. Mulligan 7-1 and 10's Barton Bank. Well, we were lucky to be having it at all. You know, lucky not to have it frozen off, but as we do have it, the conditions, at any rate, for spectators are absolutely perfect. The Pertams King George VI's chase. Over to you, Graham.
No, take a turn.
They've been asked to take a turn. Plenty of pace assured here. Mr. Mulligan we expect to go on Barton Bank. And those two trailblazers are out in front as they come down towards the first of 19 fences. Mr. Mulligan has the edge to Barton Bank, clear of Strong Promise and One Man and Rough Quest. And they take the first now, which they're all safely over. And it's Mr. Mulligan that leads to Barton Bank in second place, and then Strong Promise. And One Man and Rough Quest. As they take the first of the ditches, they have to jump. And the Strong Promise gave him plenty of air. And it's Mr. Mulligan that has the edge here to Barton Bank in second place. So the cards being played very much as we expected them to be, with Mr. Mulligan blazing the trail to Barton Bank, winner of the race 2 years back, and then the novice Strong Promise in front of the grey One Man, and the national winner Rough Quest held up fifth of the five as they level up down a stretch of the track that 4 fences to jump to claim one they're coming to now, and it's Mr. Mulligan that leads. Mr. Mulligan to Barton Bank and Strong Promise, and then One Man and Rough Quest. It's a strong pace, not as strong as it was when Desert Orchid took on Ranger. We're discussing that race earlier on this morning. But it's Mr. Mulligan who has it too in second place, Barton Bank, and then One Man on the inside of Strong Promise, and then Rough Quest, and they've jumped 4. So it's Mr. Mulligan at the head of affairs to Barton Bank, and then Strong Promise and One Man and Rough Quest. Head towards fence number 6. They're quickly at it. And it's Barton Bank, Adrian Maguire moving through the inside of Mr. Mulligan. They're 8 lengths clear of Strong Promise, One Man, and then Rough Quest still going to be played late for Mick Fitzgerald. And they come to the end of the first mile. And it's for Thames King George. And it's Mr. Mulligan that leads. To Barton Bank in second place, about 6 lengths back there to Strong Promise, the outside of the grey One Man and Rough Quest. A line of 3 fences on this stretch of the track coming towards the 7th fence they'd take. And it's Mr. Mulligan to Barton Bank in second place, and then Strong Promise and One Man, and then Rough Quest, fence number 8 now. Mr. Mulligan comes to it, pops over by a length or so. To Barton Bank, and then Strong Promise and One Man and Rough Quest. And this will be the last next time round. And really a colossal crowd here at Kempton, and they saw Strong Promise just dive at it, but it's Mr. Mulligan who leads under champion jockey Tony McCoy, clear by about 3 or 4 lengths to Barton Bank in second, and then Strong Promise the outside of One Man, and then Rough Quest at the back of the pack. So they swing right-handed. Rough Quest just changes legs there a little bit. It's a little bit scratchy as they race away down towards the water jump, and it's Mr. Mulligan blazing the trail. Mr. Mulligan to Barton Bank in second place, and then Strong Promise and One Man, and then Rough Quest, and they've completed a circuit, and they head down towards what was their first, is now the 11th, at which Mr. Mulligan leads, and Tony McCoy just increasing the tempo a little bit. Rough Quest safe at the back, and the next one they take is an open ditch, fence number 12, and it's Mr. Mulligan coming to it. He's over in the lead to Barton Bank and Strong Promise. Now One Man, Richard Dunwood, has given the leader a good 8 or 10 length start on this champion chaser, and Rough Quest is 4 lengths behind him. One Man the 13 to 8 on favourite, Rough Quest at 4 to 1. Strong Promise 6 to 1. Mr. Mulligan down to 13 to 2. Barton Bank at 10 to 1. All to play for, a mile to go. 7 more fences to jump. And gentlemen, will they catch the one in front, Mr. Mulligan?
Yeah, well, he's certainly going a good gallop. He's jumping really well for Tony McCoy. At this stage, I'm pleased to see Richard Dunwoody moved away from Barton Bank. He wouldn't be the horse you wanted to be tracking, but he's a horse who comes onto the bridle very quickly. One Man, he's just got a slap down the shoulder there, and if I take nods on about him, I think I'll be beginning to get us slightly concerned.
He's about 5 lengths adrift, is One Man, the odds-on favourite to King George, but it's still with 5 more fences to jump. Mr. Mulligan who leads, Barton Bank in second place. One Man hard on the bridle now. Mr. Mulligan just nods on landing there. Barton Bank makes a mistake and blunders away. So it's Mr. Mulligan to One Man in second place. This is the 4th from home. Mr. Mulligan over to One Man, and now Rough Quest the outside of Barton Bank, and the novice Strong Promise said can't live with them as they start to turn out of the bank straight, and it's Tony McCoy on Mr. Mulligan, clear by about 5 lengths, by 4 lengths now to One Man in second, and Rough Quest is in 3rd place, and they're turning for home, and it's One Man under Richard Dunwoody going for his 4th King George win on the grey One Man, the odds-on favourite coming up the outside of Mr. Mulligan and Tony McCoy. They're in the home straight, 3 to jump, and it's One Man who leaps into the lead to Mr. Mulligan. Rough Quest in 3rd place, and they've got 2 more to jump now, and it's One Man the outside of Mr. Mulligan, 2 out here, and one man to Mr. Mulligan in second. Rough Quest in third. Barton back and then Strong Promise. But it's bar a fall for one man as they come down towards the final fence with the potent King George. And it's one man clear by 6 lengths. This is the last. He's over safely and Mr. Mulligan falls at the last. Rough Quest through the second place. And as they race up towards the line, it's one man clear by 12 to 15 lengths. And at the line, one man is going to take it. Push down, but he wins it. One man is the winner. Rough Quest an honourable second. Barton Bank the brave third. And finishing fourth of the four is going to be Strong Promise. Mr. Mulligan's on his feet and so too Tony McCoy. And so the result then of this attempt, King George has gone to the easy to back odds-on favourite. One man, the colours of the John Hales train. In Cumbria by Gordon Richards and ridden by Richard Dunwoody, his 55th winner of the season, but more importantly his 4th King George. He becomes the first jockey so to win 4 King Georges. Second horse home is number 6 Rough Quest, ridden by Mick Fitzgerald, who looked after the horse on this fast ground. The third horse home is number 1 Barton Back, the man of Adrian Maguire, who made one unnecessary blunder on the far side, really, and that took away his chances. The novice, Strong Promise, could never live with them. The classy performer in the centre of excellence, one man.
Returned the 13-8 on favourite and beats the Grand National winner Rough Quest at 4-1. The fall of Mr. Mulligan helps many forecast backers there, with Barton Bank running in the race for the 4th time, the 10-1 chance to finish his 3rd. And one man, the 23rd favourite in 46 runnings to win the King George. The 9th to go in at odds on. The most recent was Desert Orchid twice and Barrow Hill Lad in 1984. And one man gives trainer Gordon Richards his 3rd King George. One man, of course, won it at Sandown in January, and he also won it with Titus Oates 27 years ago. And Richard Dunwoody, a record 4th King George, all on greys, of course. One man twice and Desert Orchid twice. 13-8 on, 7,000 to 4 was bet on, 6,000 to 4, and a 6,000 to win 3,000. Plenty of lumpy bets for the grey. 30-8 on, one man.
Well, they deserve all the accolades, both horse and jockey. Came through, had to work really hard for this. In the end, he might have won 6 or 7 lengths, but plenty of effort put into it. Blowing more than the horses they walked in then. I think we ought to go at Gordon Richards for a few weeks. Really happy Jim Hales.
Thank you very much.
A tremendous moment. What about watching? What's it like for you?
Well, I didn't watch.
You didn't watch?
No, I hid behind the corner over there and I listened to the commentary. I watched him over the last to the finishing line.
You literally didn't see it?
No, I can't watch him. It's just too nerve-wracking. But he's home safe and sound, that's the main thing. The winning the race is a bonus, but he's safe.
And on the finishes, he put himself up at the finish. Did you watch that bit?
Yes, he's not really. Not really. He got the race won. We're happy.
And Johnny, you've had horses done here, but how much does he bring to you, this horse?
Oh, he's everything. I mean, we went into racing not knowing a thing, and we buy a horse like this. You know, he's won 2 King George, a Hennessy. You know, what can you say about him? I mean, he means so much to my family that he puts a lot of pressure on us. We just want him to be safe and well, that's all.
Brilliant. And a quick word of Richard.
Just wait.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
4 must have been terrific.
Yes, he's given me a great ride through the race, John. So we just switched off a bit more than he usually does, but it wasn't as competitive a race with only 5 runners. He's done it very, very well.
Well done, thanks. And Gordon Richards is here. Gordon. Gordon. When the kissing has to stop, congratulations. You had him. You said you thought he was in his peak, and you said
I thought he was very, very well. You know, he's only had one run this year, and he missed 8 up, which was a pity. Because the race just puts him on a boil a little bit, doesn't it? But I knew I had him super fit, and I knew waiting another week wasn't going to do him any harm.
Now, John's saying that he couldn't actually watch the race, but you did, and you saw Mr. Mulligan have a thorough lead on him.
Oh, he did. He did. He had a very good long lead. He made it a good gallop and a good try and race, didn't he? But John never does watch the race, you know. He runs away and leaves me.
And tell us, when you went to pick him up, you knew your horse was on song then?
Yeah, I did, and you know, like he jumps well, doesn't he? And Richard said before he went out, it'd probably be over the last 3 he won't win his race. So, I mean, he closed in on him, didn't he? And then he set him alight over the last 3, so...
Well, the question we now had to ask is, what about Cheltenham? Because do you now think anything was wrong you can understand at Cheltenham?
We can never pick nothing up, you know, at Cheltenham with him or anything like that. When we say he doesn't get the trip, he went out, you know, too quick for me there. But he's going to go back to Cheltenham in January, and we're going to have a look in the pillar chase and just see. If he doesn't win there, I'll tell you, he won't go over the Gold Cup, I don't think.
And tell us, he did one thing he could say, he pulled himself up once he was clear on the run-in.
This one?
Yeah.
I think he's got a laid back, the quiet way in nature that he is now. He's getting quieter in every way. Maybe it's the way I train him at home, you know, to go very quiet. You're carrying an old fella, you know, so...
Yeah, what if you had to climb up those to the beginning, he won't go quiet.
There you are, yeah. No.
John, finally, if you couldn't watch here, what's it going to be like when you go to Cheltenham?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, last Cheltenham, we were, fun enough, people don't believe me, but at the end of the week, I wasn't disappointed, because if I'd known he was going to run like that a week before, I'd have been disappointed. But they lost so many horses during Cheltenham. I was just delighted to send my lad home as well. Because at the end of the day, you know, winning isn't the be-all and end-all, but we just love this horse, you know.
Well, he's some horse, it's been some days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Now, I have news coming in from Tony McCoy and Mr. Mulligan. Horse and jockey are okay. Now, that is the main thing. He said he saw a long stride coming down towards the last. Then he realised the horse wasn't going to get it, so he just steadied. And unfortunately, that paid the penalty, and he came down when in clear second place. And he said, you know, the horse was lame last week, and the work he missed might just have cost him. He's just getting a little bit tired coming to the last. But whether it had beaten one man, that is highly doubtful.
Well, it was really sickening bad luck after the wonderful run that Mr. Mulligan had put in. He's really made this race, and his jumping until the last was practically perfect, John, I think.
Yeah, it went really well for Tony McCoy. It's the first time that he's been on board his horse, and got a good tune out of him. What impressed me most about the horse was how well he travelled. He was cruising, you know, well within himself. And we actually was speaking through the race here, and I just thought at one stage, Richard, when he sat still at the moment, at this point, I'm sure he knows that he's got the horse well within his sights, but I think they're probably about a furlong and a half down the far side. I think he probably would have been thinking, well, I'm not sure what's actually left in the tank. As soon as he gets upside to Mr. Mulligan, it's all over then. But I agree with you, really sad and undeserved for him to fall at last, Mr. Mulligan. He put a lot into this race, made it every yard of a running until turning for home. Certainly deserved some second prize money. And going to the last now, if we take the shot that we did originally, this horse just beginning to idle a bit with Richard, and sees a perfect stride, lets him flick over the last, and then Mr. Mulligan, time and time again, horses fall because they're tired, and that was the only reason he laid down there. And this horse, just have a look at his ears, just backwards and forwards. I just wonder how much left in the tank, or how much he was just idling in front.
Remained a man, who's dead sadly, was third to Shirley Heights in the Derby, only beaten a length and a half, but Remained a man didn't ever really pass his ability on at stud. until he covered the unraced mare Steal On, and this is her first foal. One man is the first foal of Steal On, who was by General Ironside. Comes from a good family, the same family as the good Irish chaser Wild Hyde, and
ready to go with the Ladbroke Handicap Pearl. Lady Arpel over on the right there, just standing sideways onto the tape. And they're away, off and running, and in the early stages, guest performances up there on the pace with Lady Arpel on the far side. Also Centaur Express, and they're followed by Clifton Fog, and then comes Not Complaining But, Hill Society towards the outside with Palace Gate King, and they're being followed by Magical Lady as they come up now towards the first of the 8 flights. And it's Centaur Express. On the inside is Lady Arpel. They jump it together, followed in third place by Not Complaining But. On the inside is guest performance between horses Clifton Fog. Then comes Magical Lady and Hill Society and Kairawani and Palace Gate King, and then Master Tribe going towards the second, and Lady Arpel on the inside of Centaur Express. They're 5 to 6 lengths in front of guest performance Clifton Fog, Not Complaining But, Magical Lady on their outside, and they're followed by Hill Society, Kairawani, Palace Gate King, Master Tribe, Glint of Eagles and Fontaine Lodge and Shane's Hero, and then Penny a Day and Kai Tak, and behind these Metastasio with Black Queen, and then Family Way. They're followed by Executive Design with Express Gift, and King of Kerry back in the field with Rescue Time, and Ray Sylvia is last of all. Going up now towards flight number 3, and Lady Arpel on the inside of Centaur Express. Clifton Fog is in third place in the blinkers, being ridden along with guest performance on the inside. Magical Lady the outer, and just behind these is the top weight Not Complaining But, as they start to turn down the back straight, bringing them towards flight number 4. Lady Arpel the leader from Centaur Express in second. They're 3 lengths clear of Magical Lady. Guest performance is fourth, and then comes Clifton Fog, and then comes Master Tribe. Behind Master Tribe is Not Complaining But, and then leader from in second place Centaur Express. Then comes Magical Lady, guest performance Shane's Hero, Hill Society. Then comes Kairawani, and behind Kairawani making a bit of ground is Kai Tak, and then comes Master Tribe. Clifton Fog being driven along, then Glint of Eagles, Metastasio dropping back a few places as they come towards the next 4 from home now. Magical Lady hits the front there from Shane's Hero, gone second. Hill Society goes third, then Kairawani, Lady Arpel weakening, then comes Kai Tak and Master Tribe, and then comes making ground on the outside of these is Glint of Eagles, and also improving is Penny a Day as they come towards the third last. It's the Magical Lady who leads. Magical Lady with gone up on the outside Kairawani. They're followed in third place by Hill Society. Then on the inside in fourth place Shane's Hero. Just behind these is Master Tribe with Kai Tak, and then Penny a Day in guest performance, and Glint of Eagles has come down on the flat there as they race now towards the second last flight. Magical Lady from Kairawani, Master Tribe going well, the white and red colours. Just behind these Shane's Hero with Hill Society as they come to the second last. Magical Lady, Kairawani going easily on the outside, Master Tribe just behind them as they run down out of the second last. Magical Lady from Kairawani and Master Tribe, and they're being followed by Shane's Hero and Family Way getting into it too as they run the turn into the straight. One her left to jump in the Ladbroke, and Kairawani and Conrad Dwyer in the lead from Master Tribe, poised in second. Then comes Magical Lady, Family Way, Black Queen from a long way back, and they're followed by staying on Penny a Day, and after these is Executive Design as they race to the last. Master Tribe, Black Queen the near side, Kairawani the rail, just behind them Family Way, and then Penny a Day. Master Tribe leads to the last from Black Queen, and they're chased by Family Way. Kairawani weakening as they race up towards the line. It's Master Tribe on the far side. Master Tribe from Black Queen as they race up towards the line. Master Tribe, Black Queen fighting all the way. Master Tribe's holding her. Master Tribe wins the Ladbroke. Second Black Queen. 3 is Penny a Day. 4 is Family Way. Metastasio stays on well. 5 then Kairawani. Guest performance, Executive Design and Magical Lady, and then Hill Society, followed in by Kai Tak and King of Kerry and Palace Gate King, and then came Fontaine Lodge and Rescue Time. They're followed in by Express Gift, Clifton Fog, Not Complaining But, then Shane's Hero and Centaur Express, Lady Arpel, and finally Ray Sylvia.
Now, this Jenny Pittman trained winner was one that she sent a box load up to Wolverhampton to work only last week to sharpen them up. It certainly did that. But there was a little bit of a hiccup. Glint of Eagles over the far side just went down on the flat. But what an amazing race this always is, the Ladbroke, because there are so many horses who come together with a chance going to the last bend. It had been a fair gallop right from the start with several of the known front runners up there. Centaur Express was one of them, and also Lady Arpel. And that, when they weaken, leaves a
cracking race in forecast, but will they get a clear round? It's Magical Lady just leading as they come to the final bend, with the favourite, Keowani, on the outside, apparently cruising. Backing third is Master Tribe and Norman Williamson. Look for his big white face. You'll see a lot more of it in a minute. Family Way is in fourth and hasn't quite got the run of the race as he did last year. That's 2 from home. And there's quite a hill here. The cameras actually flatten it out, but that does sap some horses and encourages other. Magical Lady goes for home. The favourite now takes Keowani, takes up the running under Charlie Swan, but the white face of Master Tribe, this former classic horse on the flat, comes there cruising under Norman Williamson. But then look back to fifth in the dark colours. Black Queen, this mare of John Kiley's, comes in with a chance, but she's hanging left-handed all the way, and that doesn't help on a left-handed track unless you've got the rail. Norman Williamson jumps the last in great fettle. He's not going to give this big prize away without a fight. And here it looks as though Master Tribe was going to go away to an easy win. But Black Queen stays this trip and more, and her courage is going to shorten this gap every stride going to the line, but she's still hanging in left there, and I'm afraid that probably doesn't help young O'Brien on board. And in the end, although it's probably a photograph, well, you can have your life on Master Tribe's white face. In fact, it's a neck, isn't it? Well, one that we never saw through the race is Mary Reevely's Penny a Day, ran on through the tired horses. Family Way, last year's second, was fourth on this occasion, finishing in the front of...
Frustrating.
Very similar. You know, we were just saying earlier, our Cheltenham ground this year, to date, it's always been good to firm. I hope they get some rain for Cheltenham, because it'll certainly affect the fields there.
No changes there. Imperial Call, as Tony said, very certain now to start at even money. Jadami, easy to back at 5 to 1. Denoli, money for him, 6s. Mary Gale, money for Mary Gale as well, a 7 to 1 chance. The Grey Monk out to 7 to 1 now. Belmont King 20s and 50s. Idiot's Venture and King of the Gales. Who's your money on?
Jadami has to have a great chance on the ground, I think.
Ted?
I'd stick with Imperial Call, Gold Cuppers. What about you?
Tony?
On the way in the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup, and Denoli goes into the lead from the Grey Monk as they come to the first of the 17 fences. Denoli over from the Grey Monk, Mary Gale, and then Belmont King and Imperial Call in fifth, followed by Jadami, and then the two outsiders at the back, Idiot's Venture and King of the Gales, as they come to the first of the ditches. Denoli about half a length up, Mary Gale going into it with them. Mary Gale from Denoli, the Grey Monk, Imperial Call lands fourth, Belmont King fifth, and then Jadami in the back two, Idiot's Venture and King of the Gales as they come towards the third. Mary Gale on the outside leads, Denoli in second. And they're followed over it by the Grey Monk, a gap then to Jadami and Belmont King, who jump past Imperial Call, then a gap of 5 lengths to Idiot's Venture, and finally King of the Gales as they go towards fence number 4. Denoli on the inside of Mary Gale. They're followed 3 lengths away by the Grey Monk, and gap then of about 5 lengths to Imperial Call, who's followed on the inside by Belmont King, and then Jadami, and back of the tail of the field, King of the Gales and Idiot's Venture, as they run towards the fifth. The second ditch, and Denoli leads into it from Mary Gale. Grey Monk close in third. Just over 4 lengths off them, Imperial Call. Mary Gale lands just in front of Denoli, 2 lengths away the Grey Monk. A gap of about 5 lengths to Imperial Call, followed by Belmont King. Jadami is next, and then King of the Gales, and finally Idiot's Venture as they come towards fence number 6. On the run towards the straight for the first time, and Mary Gale. Richard Dunwoody in the lead. Over from Denoli in second. Alongside Denoli is the Grey Monk. Then a gap of 6 lengths to Imperial Call, who's 4 in front of Belmont King, who's being niggled along already, followed by Jadami, and then King of the Gales. Idiot's Venture brings up the rear as they straighten up for the fence before the stands, number 7 of the 17. Right of the picture, Mary Gale alongside Denoli, Tommy Tracy, then the Grey Monk in third. Denoli lands just in front there. From in second place the Grey Monk, and then Mary Gale behind them in third. They're followed 3 to 4 lengths back by Imperial Call, then Jadami, and behind Jadami on the inside is Belmont King. Big cheer from the crowd as Denoli takes them past the winning post for the first time. This is the fence coming up now, which caused them problems at the last Leopardstown meeting. Denoli the leader from the Grey Monk, Mary Gale in 3, Imperial Call a bit closer in 4, and then Belmont King and the noseband on the inside of Jadami. King of the Gales last but 1, and the white face of Idiot's Venture at the back as they come up now to fence number 8. Denoli the leader. Jumps it nicely, and Jadami was a bit untidy as they come towards the next one, which is the 9th. Denoli the leader from the Grey Monk in 2nd, then Mary Gale. Denoli, the Grey Monk, Mary Gale, then Imperial Call and Belmont King. King of the Gales on the inside of Jadami, and then Idiot's Venture. A long run towards the next fence, the first of the 6 down the back, and Denoli is the leader. A length in front. In 2nd place is the Grey Monk. They're 3 clear of Mary Gale. Imperial Call close in 4th. 2 lengths away, Belmont King. Jadami is next, followed by King of the Gales, and finally Idiot's Venture. 8 fences left to jump, coming out of the first down the far side, and Denoli and Tommy Tracy lead Tony Dobbin and the Grey Monk by about half a length. Denoli out-jumped there by the Grey Monk. Slight mistake by Denoli. Mary Gale moves up on the outside. They're 3 lengths in front of Imperial Call. Then Jadami moving up on the outside of Belmont King, and a gap then to King of the Gales, and finally Idiot's Venture. They've 7 fences to jump now, and Denoli back upsides the Grey Monk. 2 lengths away, Mary Gale. Denoli and the Grey Monk from Mary Gale. Imperial Call's in 4th, then a gap to Belmont King, followed by Jadami, and they're clear of Idiot's Venture as they come to this ditch. 6 fences from home. Denoli and the Grey Monk together. Denoli and the Grey Monk's on the floor. The Grey Monk's a faller. Denoli in front from Imperial Call, Mary Gale. Jadami being pushed along in 4th. Belmont King next, and they're clear of Idiot's Venture. Guy to the next, 5 from home. Denoli with Imperial Call closing, and Denoli lucky to get away with that one as Imperial Call jumps past him. Denoli in 2nd, Mary Gale 3, 4 lengths away Jadami. Belmont King struggling, and a long gap then to King of the Gales and Idiot's Venture as they go to the 4th last. Imperial Call and Denoli together at the 4th last. Denoli on the inside, the better jump that time. From in 2nd place, Imperial Call. They're 8 lengths clear of Jadami in 3rd. Behind Jadami comes Mary Gale as they go towards the final ditch. 3 from home in the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup, and Denoli half a length in front of Imperial Call, and they're 8-9 lengths in front of Jadami. At the final ditch now, and it's Denoli the leader, over from Imperial Call. They're clear of Jadami. Mary Gale in 4th, a long way back to Belmont King, who's being pulled up as they run towards the 2nd last in the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. Denoli running a cracking race in the lead, but Imperial Call bang there on the outside. The pair of them are clear of Jadami at the 2nd last in the Hennessy. Denoli and Imperial Call together. Denoli lands just in front, Imperial Call in 2nd, and starting the run now into the straight. Denoli the leader, going on 3-4 lengths clear of Imperial Call. Jadami's not out of it yet, staying on in 3rd, and they're a long way clear of Mary Gale as they race towards the final fence, and it's Denoli out in front from Jadami, putting in a big run on the outside. Imperial Call can't go with them. They're clear of Mary Gale. Coming out of the final fence, and it's Denoli with Jadami throwing down a big challenge on the near side. At the final fence, Denoli and Jadami. Denoli over in front, Jadami in 2nd, Imperial Call back in 3rd, and on the run in, Denoli over on the rail, Jadami on the near side, and racing into the closing stages, Denoli and Tommy Tracy from Jadami and Norman Williamson. They're clear of Imperial Call, and racing up to the line, Denoli getting a huge reception as they go to the line. Denoli, Jadami still coming, but Denoli's holding him as they go to the line. Denoli wins the Hennessy Cognac Gold Cup. Tommy Tracy punches the air with delight. 2nd Jadami, a long way back to Imperial Call. Mary Gale is 4th, and the only other finisher is King of the Gales. So a cracking performance from Denoli. He certainly had his doubters going into the race, but he's done it, and done it well, earning a quote of 8-1 from Ladbrokes for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. And Doran's Pride, who won earlier in the afternoon, the new favourite with Ladbrokes at 4-1. So Denoli's day, and a cracking race with Jadami giving everything.
This was absolutely magic. Well done, Tommy Tracy. It was marvellous. Winds him up there for one. And 2 horses, a Gold Cup horse, and he's outside. Which of these 2 horses will crack first? Tommy has rousted this fella back up. He'd everything to lose here. Every bastard in the country was knocking him the last day. And here he comes down to the last here, jumping away. Brilliant this was. And he goes down here. Now Imperial Call is getting a bit empty on the outside, and it's a matter of will he jump it. Both lads sit a bit quiet, and both horses jump it well. He pops it nicely there for him. And now Connor is feeling the pinch, that absence, that interrupted preparation. He's starting to feel the pinch here. And now Tommy has put the gun to Denoli's head again, around into the bend. Now Jodami is sneaking there behind him every step of the way, going to lay down his challenge. He's a 3-time winner here. But Denoli jumps the last well again. Tommy is hard at work and he sets him about. A big task for a young man. He's everything to lose and not that much to gain. Everything to gain as well too, but a lot to lose. Going to the last here, and Denoli comes up for him. Sits quite, meets it right, pop, and he pops it well. Now we can get down to serious business. Hard as Norman Williamson and Jodami try. Denoli pulls out. He's got that running rail. He's not going to be denied. Full marks to Tom Foley and to Tom Tracy, and that's just what Irish racing needs. Leopardstown needs it, and you can't miss to come in this race, because this was an absolutely electric performance. Good old Tommy Tracy and Denoli. Hard luck to Jodami and Norman Williamson, but it's Denoli's day. Brilliant, that was. That was bad. Need talk over. Hey! But a picture tells 1,000 words. Never threw them there. It's just wonderful to be alive to see it, isn't it, Rob?
Oh, it's fantastic. We'd all been looking forward to this day. We'd all been hoping that it would work out. It has worked out, my goodness. Fantastic.
This game is not for the faint-hearted, and Tom Foley is definitely not faint-hearted.
I honestly believe that if Jodami had got even closer to him, he'd have picked up again, you know. We've seen him pick up in his other races. We hear that Jodami is lame.
He hasn't got back into number 2 anyway.
And the winner number 2, Denoli, at 6-1. Second number 5, Jodami, at 5-1. And third, Imperial Call, the even money favourite. And of course that result will have implications for the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Denoli is the new favourite for the Blue Riband of steeplechasing.
And our commentators at Leopardstown were Robert Hall, Ted Walsh and Tony O'Hare. And our apologies too for the brief break in vision during the race at Leopardstown this afternoon. Now back here at Preston, we've been watching the final of the World Indoor Singles Championship. Hugh Duff against Andy Thompson. All going very much Hugh Duff's way early on. He took the first set 7-4. Then he added the second 7-3. And when we left it a few minutes ago, they were all square in the third at 4-4. That's where we pick it up in a set Andy Thompson simply has to win.
So, Hugh Duff, needing 3 for the title. 4-all, third set. He won the first set 7-4, the second 7-2. Not that Thompson performed particularly badly in those opening sets. But Hugh Duff certainly seems to have learnt that ability to convert bad heads to his own advantage. Lost some of the consistency in his drawing to the jack, which was absolutely uncanny back in 1988. But he's acquired a tremendous ability with his attacking bowls. This time, though,
yes,
he's got them close.
Is just over a ball short of jack high, and the next one is 5 inches short of the jack.
Wait from Andy Thompson, seeking to remove the blue balls. Will he come back?
this way.
Pressure surely beginning to tell. Well, I understand Thompson's tactics in attacking that, trying to take something out.